How are y'all doing? How's it hanging? Yeah, I add some music. We spruced things up around here. Did some spit shine, elbow grease, all that stuff. Eve's here with me. Nice.
Hello.
Love some good
I'm
chilling.
still not seeing anything on Discord. Is it on Discord?
I have not yet started streaming it on Discord because I have not started the game yet. Because I wanted us all to watch. Well, I told you this before the thing, but I really want to all watch.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry. I don't
Yeah.
know how any of this works. Hi, guys. I don't know how anything works.
It's fine. Yeah, we're playing Darkest Dungeon. I'm going to start a new save file that has. I have one that's like at like week 90 or something, and I feel like it'd be weird to start like halfway through. So we are going to start from scratch, and we'll watch the opening cinematic together, which is really just an experience that I'm excited about sharing with y'all.
Excellent.
Ruin has come to our family is I think the name of the name of the game tonight. It's the first line. It's always darkest before the dungeon. Just remember that, and we'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start the game. All right, there. That should work for y'all.
Nice.
And it should, at some point soon, catch the...
Ruin has come to our family.
first line.
You remember our venerable house?
Hey there.
Hey, it just said the stream has ended.
Gazing proudly from its stoic perch
did
above
it?
the moor. I lived
Yeah,
all my years in that
Rude.
ancient,
Alright, let's stream this
rumor-shadowed
again.
manor,
Sorry.
fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance.
This is just what it's like to have family that was English back in the day.
The mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and
This is our ancestor. He sure did make some choices.
and ritual. I've bent every
Alright, can you see it now?
towards the excavation and recovery
Yes!
of those long buried
Right.
secrets. Exhausting
Okay.
what remained of our family fortune. Swarthy work.
Swarthy is such
Oh
a
no, swarthy workmen.
swarthy workman. And then it shows the photos of them, and they are certainly not what I would call swarthy.
That damnable
They're just
war
kind of dudes.
Diluvian evil.
They look like if George Orwell bulked up a little.
They got swole and then
Every step
unsettled the ancient earth.
God, me
The
too.
realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity.
This sounds like the last
till
paragraph of a
consciousness
Lovecraft
failed
story.
me.
I mean, it kind of is, yeah.
Remember our venerable house,
You remember our venerable house, of
opulent
course.
and imperial.
Of course.
You can't forget our venerable house.
Festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright
To the festering abomination.
from the ravenous.
Well, the idea is you have to come back and like put out all the fires that your stupid idiot ancestor set.
Dungeon.
I've been debating whether or not I want this to be a spoiler-free for the end of the game stream, because it's going to be hard to completely resist. It's also not that big a deal. And then you get
Well, I don't know about your other viewers, but I am pretty spoiler resistant. If you spoil it, I will probably still enjoy it.
oh yeah, it's definitely a game where like process matters as much as reveals, and you gotta go some places. So yeah, this is the one I had going, which is Bruckner, which I thought was named for Anton, but unrelated. And to play with all of the DLC, I'm active. It'll be interesting trying to manage the Crimson Horde. I've never been able to deal well with that. Yes, I've played. We'll play on Darkest, which is just normal difficulty, as opposed to Blood Moon, which is darker. Darker than Darkest.
Sure.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, we'll go with just... Yeah. There we go. We'll start with the best two lads, which a lot of the time is spent with heroes that cycle in and out and are generally like pretty expendable, except for Reynard and Dismas, who everyone loves.
Serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside.
God, I love the narration in this game. It's so much.
I fear to ever more tenebrous places.
Tenebrous.
Tenebrous, good word.
Cobbles of the old road.
Love those fucking shadows.
Writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors.
Damnably transcendent.
Damnably.
That is a combination of words I've never encountered, but will now be using often.
This game has a way of introducing phrases to your lexicon that really just kind of grab you by the horns and just take hold entirely.
Amazing.
Spoilers! We will not be finding redemption.
Alright. I'm ready. I'm ready to find no redemption.
Yeah. Yeah, damn, F's for redemption. There will be none of it. Yeah, the stagecoach is destroyed and the caretaker has just fucked off to do whatever, as he is wont to do. We have to...
You know what? Good for him. Labor rights.
Honestly, I don't think the caretaker actually does anything, but you know what? I'm not really gonna complain about it. He actually makes my life exclusively worse, as I recall.
Okay, labor rights include making life worse for your boss and doing nothing.
Yeah. So we're currently in a room. I know. So yeah, the first game takes place in all these hallways where you and your lads, Reynald and Dismas, are just hanging out in a walk on by.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned.
And then they stab you.
Is no longer welcome.
Alright, I do. So yeah, I am... Can't do that, I guess. Alright, well...
There are a lot of video games where you play as landlords.
Yeah, it is something else. Here, we'll have Reynald move forward, because one thing that's a really important mechanic for this game is... positioning. This is we've only currently got 2 people in our party, but in general, an adventuring party is 4 characters.
Okay.
And they all have different abilities that will do different things and only be used in different places. Like you can see, down where I'm mousing over the thing, you can see that the pips. The yellow pips are positions in which it works. The red is what they can target. So, like, Dismas here cannot shoot until he gets into the back 3 rows, and he can only shoot the back 3 rows of the enemy. So, a lot of it is, like, managing positions, and there are certain characters that can, like, lunge forward and backwards and do interesting juggling maneuvers. Like, so you're gonna have Dismas completely whiff a shot. Good job, buddy. That is an unfortunate thing. They will just straight up... It's very much like XCOM, where every shot you desperately need them to hit, they will always invariably miss. So let's try
This is why
Oh!
the few video games
Nice.
I've played, I am of the button mashing school.
Yeah. So Dismas just vaporized that guy in the back, which, like, redeeming himself. There will be redemption, not for our family, but for Dismas specifically.
There will be redemption for one person.
For one man, this my poor little Meow Meow who robbed people and murdered people.
As poor little Meow Meows are wont to do.
It's a really cool part of the story how, like, all your hero characters, which fall into the different archetypes, are basically invariably all broken, lost people who have done horrible things and had horrible things done to them. It's not like a triumphant hero story, which I personally find really neat. Oh, I forgot it was trapped.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well,
you only become a hero if, like, you have nothing else on your schedule.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's a common thing I do in D&D games where the people who become heroes are generally just unable to hold any other job, because why would you want to get stabbed in the woods?
Fun fact, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't. It's a bad time. So, and they also unlock traits like this. So here we have Diurnal. It's -2 speed if the torch is below 26. And he does 15 extra damage in the Cove, which is not a place we have unlocked yet. That's why you're an adventurer. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go wander in the wilderness, and if you succeed, you'll be fabulously wealthy because you get to both get all the treasure and also everything that everyone who tried to get it first left behind when they died.
Now, and you are bound
So, yeah.
to them.
That's like Thoreau, but for him the treasure is wisdom, which is why Thoreau sucks.
Well, for me, the treasure is gold that I can spend. So, eat shit, Thoreau.
Eat shit, Thoreau.
So yeah, this is welcome to the town. It's a fun place.
That looks like a good time.
Yes, this looks like a place I want to live. This is the Hamlet. It's called the Realm Estate, but really our house is up in the middle distance, back there. And you can just
Okay.
see. Here you get new heroes through the Cove each week. So we'll get Bertrand and Hamage, as they all
Is he
have.
a vampire or just like doesn't take very good care of himself?
Oh, the caretaker here, this lad.
Yeah, that lad.
He doesn't.
Whomsoever.
He doesn't take good care of himself. There are vampires, but they will not appear until later.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
you get nomad wagons, graveyards, no one's dead yet, and the ancestors' memories. There he is, the nasty boy.
Covered in the poisoned earth.
Jesus
he has a
Christ,
nasty
dude.
boy room.
Awaited merciful oblivion.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
We sure fucking will. We really will by the end of this. Alright, so one of the rules that I do for my Darkest Dungeon runs is since they give you just randomly just generated names like Hamage for her, I don't, it's, after they reach if they reach their first level without dying, I will give them a new name. It is mandatory. They will receive new names, except for Reynald and Dismas, who get to keep theirs as their special. Sorry, Hamage and Bertrand. Sucks to suck. So yeah, like you said, there really isn't much else to do but just go on a quest.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Jesus Christ. That's something.
Oh. I wish I'd thought of that for like my YouTube channel introduction or something.
I mean,
Welcome to my mecca of madness and mobility. Wait, is that culturally insensitive?
I feel like that's culturally insensitive, probably. Here we have the team. Some of these teams come with pre-rolled names. This one's Red Hook, which is the name of the studio, and also a story by Lovecraft. Saucy Howard Phillips. Actually, it feels wrong to call him saucy. He's not saucy. He's a racist piece of shit.
Cost of preparedness.
Well, he's dead now.
Yeah, that saucy racist piece of shit. Who's dead now.
In blood.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a sauce that I do not wish to imbibe. Of all the sauces, you know? And I do love a good sauce. Alright, we're going to the ruins, so I'm gonna bring a shovel. If you don't bring a shovel, people have to dig through shit, like, by hand, and nobody likes that. It's just a bad experience. So here we go on our first expedition into the ruins of my ancestry. Be curious, be careful.
Okay.
So yeah, you have this overworld scene where you have the map, and you have to explore 90% of the rooms. So I'm just gonna skip that one, as you can skip one of them, typically. Rounds down, and yeah, you just run around through the hallways. There's a lot of shit around, like there'll be stuff in the hallways, and it can either help you a lot by giving you boons and benefits. Who's Illington's? So, Skeletons, as you'll see, are not that resistant to being poisoned, but they are resistant to bleeding on account of
Wait.
having no blood.
You can poison a skeleton?
Yep, but you cannot make a skeleton bleed.
Okay.
The more you know.
Good to know. There's some rules that I know now.
Yeah, skeletons. Yeah.
Destroy them.
You can also use, it would be stupid to use the zealous accusation. See, it's the people in the first two ranks, but I very much like to imagine it's just a piece of paper that says skeletons suck, as someone immortalized in art several years ago. And then you just innovate old rhesus poems, build empires, and it instigates murder. Yep. Yeah, man.
Not incorrect.
Yeah. Open the chest. Open the chest and take the shit you find in the chest.
Now it must be carried home.
Well, thankfully, the lugging around of it is not my problem. More my problem is that, see, there's a pile of shit, but you can use a shovel,
Stone seems bent on preventing passage.
and you can really prevent that. I love how the cultists, there's like skeletons, and then there's just like human people, and like here she is, just like real Earl Boss energy. Ding.
Me.
She'll try to
I
use.
will not elaborate.
Alright. So you can poison her, considering she's actually more resistant to being poisoned than a skeleton, which doesn't make sense.
Girl boss energy, I guess, is the
Yeah.
answer to that.
Yeah. They do Graveyard Slash, which I inevitably will have to at some point work into a version of Monster Mash.
It's caught on in Flash.
It's a Graveyard Slash. Poison the skeleton. Yeah. Skeletons, very,
Death by inches.
very vulnerable to being poisoned for some reason. I don't understand it.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offense.
I love the art style in this game. Like, the pitch black shadows are very much a look. I know Sarah at one point compared it to being, like, kind of comic book style. I'll admit I don't read that many comics, other than, like, the occasional manga. Yeah, really, but...
It's, I would say comic book style feels pretty accurate.
Yeah. Do comic books also have all the characters just be like little chicken nuggets of people? Chicken nugget proportions. I will not elaborate by what I mean on that.
I mean, it depends on the comic. Some do. It's a stylistic choice some people
Fair
make.
enough. So, some of these characters... Reynald, I'm gonna fight you. That is true. Doritos proportions for superhero comics are really possible.
Yeah, that is true.
A lot of characters will have quirks and shit that can be bad. Like, Reynald just, like, stole that shit and pocketed it. Which I think is personally very rude.
Very quirky of him, for sure.
It certainly is.
He'll be played by Zoe Deschanel in the movie.
I do think Reynald has pretty good Girl Boss energy. Alright. It's really nice to inflict the blight and bleed effects, because it just does, like, every time they take a turn, they'll take damage. Like, I'm not even gonna have to bother focusing on that guy, because he's gonna take 4 poison damage next turn, and he'll just die before he can move. Skeletons suck.
Yeah! Skeletons suck.
That's not true. I actually like skeletons. In a
Alright.
in a
There will be
totally
redemption for skeletons.
in a totally normal way, I assure you.
Uh-huh. The normal way that normal people like skeletons,
Yes.
I got you.
Yes, clearly. And I will take no dissent. Just gonna shoot that person.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms.
A faint hope blossoms when the fiend falls. Also, it describes Jade as dull, green, like rotting flesh. I've seen Jade. That's not how I would describe it, you know? It's a very pretty rye.
Yeah, that's fair. That does seem like a...
There we go. Get some.
Maybe it's supposed to speak to the character's mindset more than what Jade looks like.
That's quite possible because they are in a bad headspace basically constantly, and I'll light another torch.
Art, his efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
That is true. Like, my whole thought about, you know how like you can play pranks that are like the lawn con. Oh no, it's the blood. Get some of that good blood in you. Like doing lawn cons, you want to be around to see the results, you know?
You would think.
One would think.
Yeah, you don't want your con to get too long. That's the trick.
The con's gotta be like it depends on the con. If the point is just doing a good oof on someone, a non-harmful oof, yeah, I want to see the efficacy of the Trapmaker's art in that case, you know?
Yeah, I always wondered that about Darth Bane. Like, his con was 2,000 years long, and he never got to see what happened. Like, did that ever bother him?
You'd have to think. Like, curious may be the Trapmaker's art, but if it's 2,000 years later, you have no idea if that's even gonna go down. Dang.
Also, the con was destroying his entire culture except for 2 people who would represent it exclusively for the rest of forever.
I'm gonna be real.
I feel like maybe he had lost track of what he actually intended to do at some point.
He had lost the plot. Yeah, I mean,
that's how evil be sometimes.
yeah, it gotta be real. The rule of 2, or whatever the specific phrase for it is, seems kind of...
That is the phrase.
I did it. It's
seems kind of insane.
Yeah, it actually just seems like a bad idea.
He's like, all the Sith are fighting too much, so I'll solve it by killing them all.
It's like, yeah, you saw it. We did it, Patrick. We saved the Sith, but... Jesus, man. Alright, as you can see, Homage is getting a little bit stressy. When it gets to 100, there will, her resolve will be tested, which, it's probably not gonna get to 100, considering the fight just ended. But, you know, it could. Here, I'm gonna open this box. Here, I'm gonna have you do it, Reynald. You're a large lad.
My resolve gets tested when my alarm goes off in the morning.
Fucking mood. Yeah, the health stone. So a lot of these items will give you some benefit, like plus 10% max health, but minus 1 speed. So like, I will probably add to Reynald. I never focus on speed for Crusaders because their whole thing is I just want them to hit hard. He is afraid of the Warrens now, which you never even been to the Warrens, bud, but okay.
I'm afraid of everything, so I get that.
Yeah, that's a mood.
I'm still convinced that one day I'm going to have to worry about quicksand.
You never know. It gets you any moment. Alright, so we have our first 2 level 1s, Bertrand and Homage, so we've got to give them some names. I tend to typically go with a name that sounds somewhat similar to whatever their name is, or just something I find funny. So, I tell you what, Eve, do you have any suggestions for what we should name this lady? My best friend. Who will die soon, probably.
And she's wearing a Plague Doctor mask.
Yeah, she's very cool.
Yeah, honestly, what a queen.
Yeah. If we run into it,
should name her after a queen. Name her Boudica.
Fun fact: there actually is another character whose canon name is Boudica, so I'm not gonna give her that one.
Damn it, Julia!
Listen. Also, that character, the Hellion, is great. She's very hot.
Fine. Her name is Buffy then.
Alright, Buffy works. Alright, for the second one, chat, you got any ideas? I'll give you a minute to think on it while I, go and throw Buffy into the bar.
Fresh kegs.
I mean, Bertrand is honestly already a perfect name.
It's pretty good,
To the weary
but we got it.
and
It's the rules. You gotta give her a new name. Bertman? You know, that's actually pretty good. I'll go with Bertman.
Alright, Bertman.
It's really in the spirit of how I do these. I'm going to make it 2 separate words, because I think it's funnier that way. And let's check who we got. Ooh, we got Duval the Secret Grave Robber and Espet the Secret
those
Leper.
with a keen eye. Gold
So-
gleams like a dagger's point.
My favorite of the heroes is the Grave Robber. She is the epitome of girl boss. She was married to a shitty husband, and then he was shitty, so she murdered him, and then stole things out of people's graves.
Girl boss.
She is a girl boss, and I love her.
That is hot girl shit.
Hot girl shit. Just like Helena Blavatsky smoking a pound of tobacco a day. Jesus Christ, I don't know.
God damn it.
I know we were talking about this like 2 days ago, but goddamn girl. Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to my artifacts. You can use them to build shit. Wild and certain, I've seen nothing horrific. You haven't even gone on an adventure. Well, which we can fix. Alright, so the mill is unlocked, which is essentially color out of space.
Okay.
So-
Again, with visually depicting the color out of space. Love that.
I think it's an interesting way, because a lot of it, they go for, like, this kind of unnaturally blue mineral, and then when you get into the upper levels, it starts getting weird, which I think is fun. So, since we don't have enough people to form another tank, or we'll take Espec out. So, he's just a large lad with a large sword who can't hit anything with his large sword, which is unfortunate. But, he hit real hard.
Good for him.
Well, so we got lunge. So we'll put Renan second, right? Duval in third, and then the Bertman in the back. I think we got a good team going. So essentially what we're doing is we're slowly working up this bar by doing these individual quests, and we can go and take on the first boss of the game, so which is currently kind of our goal.
Okay.
So yeah, we will. This is a short one, so we'll get 10 food, 8 torches, and you know what? I'm feeling frisky. Let's get a key. Back into the ruins. So yeah, that's like the kind of the core gameplay loop. You go into these missions to fight monsters or explore or otherwise do something, and from there,
Fiends must be
Yeah.
coming back. And what better
from there you go back to the town, resupply.
our noble
We are currently there are only short quests available to us now, but once we are able to get medium quests, there will be a camping phase. The whole
Camping phase.
Oh yeah.
That's everyone's favorite part of every fantasy story.
It's when all the character bonding happens. Alright. Tell you what, we're in a... She really doesn't have much, so we're gonna actually just move her forward one. And then you have the leopard do one thing real good, and it's chop. Chop real good. Sometimes it's nice to have like 2 tanks in front because you get. God damn, it's such an edgy narrator. I love it. You can get a lot of melee damage going, and a lot of people to like soak the higher damage from boys like the Holtis Brawler, whose whole bit is he hit hard. Alright, we need to get...
Somebody has to.
Yeah. Fucking rude. She dodged my illuminating strike. That's not allowed.
confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
And we can use this to clear the corpses, which you have to do to get them within melee range. Hacha!
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Another health stone. Here, tell you what, I forgot to give that the first one to Reynon, so I need to. You know, I probably should get rid of Diurnal at some, like the first possible opportunity. It's pretty bad since like he's taking a pretty big speed hit. He'll eventually stop bleeding. See, there you go.
Sure, yeah. He'll eventually stop bleeding. I got you.
Like most people will eventually stop bleeding if you give them long enough.
One way or another.
One way or another, there will be no more blood. And like the faster we accept that, the faster we will start getting some real results. All right, reach into the sack. We got 250 gold. And if you find traps through scouting, you can go ahead and disarm them, which is always super nice. Because you don't get jabbed or whatever.
Is it not common to be able to disarm traps that you find in advance in games?
You usually can. You just have to. The trick is finding them. What's in here? You know, I don't think I'm gonna root around in the ashes of
every once in a
Uncharted.
while we have to grind the narration to a halt while Eve asks an incredibly stupid question about video games.
Well, there's a relatively interesting answer to this because, like, historically, a lot of like trap detection has been a feature of a lot of games because it's native to D&D, like old D&D,
Okay.
where it was like an action Rose could do. So
Sure.
So you usually had, like, in Baldur's Gate 1, you have a mode you can, like, turn on, and that is how you...
Baldur's Gate 1 is one of the few games I have observed a lot of gameplay of, because my dad got it, and I watched it over his shoulder
It's
so
fun.
much.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. I'm not sure I got it, but I was really anxious every time his cleric died, which was, like, once around, but
Yeah,
she
that-
kept coming back.
That'll itch you. Yeah, it's funny how, like, death is such a stressful thing, like modern D&D, but in Baldur's Gate 1, you're just constantly breeding your dead party members back to life, and it's just, like, walking off, kinda.
Like, lots of stuff, and you're good.
Yeah. Like,
Amazing.
like, have you considered chilling the fuck out? Alright. Beyond Fiend. Yeah, the monsters like that who deal stress damage, you always want to take out real quick. As you can see, our good friend, what was his name? He hasn't gotten a new name, so I haven't bothered to memorize the first one. Our friend here, Spat, which is, goddamn what a name. Alright. Here, we'll use Solemnity to just chill you out a little bit, buddy. He is pretty close to having a resolve test, which means will make everything harder if he fails it, and I don't want to deal with that. Alright. I'm pretty sure she cannot stress the front rank, which I'm personally fine with. Everyone else is pretty good, like has low stress 17, 9, 13. But Espet here is having a rough day.
Mm-hmm.
What happened first? Horps. It's funny, the Horpses was a feat. Renault, please work with me here. Was a feature that got added in the beta that a lot of people just fucking hated, but I think no. All right, well, that's unfortunate.
Reeling,
He's
gasping.
gonna be having a day for the rest of. He is afflicted now. That's unfortunate.
Oof.
Not a very Earl Boss moment to be afflicted. Yeah, so sometimes he will just ignore me, in my commands. He will just kind of do whatever.
Faint hope.
Caution bans Twilight Hammerlight, summon the fish, and Reynald is just like, you know what? I am not happy about any of that.
brought low and driven into the mud.
Imagine your entire party was cats.
I mean, I'd play that mod. Oh, it's a scouting. Alright, because our current goal is to complete 100% of room battles. We now know we don't have to go down this way because there's nothing there. I just have to go to do these 2 room battles and then we're done. So, and I have an adventure. The books sometimes have good effects. Sometimes it's problematic. Here. Yeah, sure. A soothing pale light engulfs the hero, so it's plus 20% damage, which is actually pretty amazing for him because he hit hard. I can already tell Duval's new name is gonna be Duvet. I just know it's gonna happen.
Compassion is a
Well, I guess that's that settled then.
Yeah.
battle.
Frequently, the name is just like whatever the dumbest joke I could think of at any given moment was. Summon the fish! Reynolds still is not feeling that. Alright. Alright, good.
Executed with impunity.
Duvet, like, is that a Starlight Express character?
Jesus. I'm just gonna go ahead and erase my board that says Days Without Starlight Express reference. We're down to 0 again.
I mean, it was. I don't even think it was technically 1 from yesterday. Yeah.
You know,
Thanks, Casey.
until I met you, I was the only person I knew who ever made jokes about Starlight Express.
It is a pretty funny show.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Is it? I don't know. It's always just a trick of the light. Alright, we'll heal up. Unfortunately, I need to like change out some of her skills when I get that ability because she can't really do much other than heal single people in that rank. Iron sleeps in sunshine. Hooray, redemptive. No one was everyone disliked that.
Another abomination.
And then he just demolished a skeleton. Huh. It still says we've only been going for 15 minutes on OBS. I don't know why that seems to be somewhat bizarre in the way that it just refuses to acknowledge things. Once again, we are summoning the fish. Why are we summoning the fish again? What do we need the fish for? Please tell me a spec. I need to know! Eve!
I need to spell to summon fish.
Tell me why I need the fish!
I would just use it occasionally.
Oh yeah, I suppose you can. Alright, I mean, might as well. That's what you got the fish for. Alrighty.
Listen, does anyone need fish? Not necessarily, but do people want fish? I would say yes.
Yeah. Do a lot of things with a fish. Like have a best friend.
Blurred vision.
Yeah, like have a best friend.
Roaches.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Sometimes
I haven't had a fish in ages. Now I want a fish.
to be best friends with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe a beta fish. Just one, because I don't want either to eat the other.
There are ways you can set up beta fish so like you have a sorority of beta fish.
Really?
Yeah.
I want
Uh,
a sorority of beta fish.
It'd be real.
And
I
I'll
don't-
name them all after mean girls from horror movies.
That's perfect. I already love this
Oh
idea.
my god. Like Nancy and Madison and Heather. I want a sorority of beta fish.
Alright, we're gonna have to move you forward, because otherwise nothing.
It's gonna be called Beta Beta Beta.
it's pretty good.
Thank you, thank you.
Long.
And yes, I will paint that on their fishbowl or tank. I guess I'll probably want them to have room to move around and live their lives. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you out like 5 beta fish, you're gonna need like a decent sized tank for that.
As victories mount,
Beta. I'm very clever.
It's very fun. It's a good name. All right, you know what? We're gonna break open some of these old books. An old journal entry. This is completely useless.
waiting to be spent.
Excuse you. No stack of old books is ever useless.
No, that's the journal page is useless, is what I'm saying.
Well, as a
Quickly the tide
former and recovering scholar, I will have to disagree.
Yeah. Yeet.
the ground quakes.
I like her outfit.
It's real Girl Boss.
It is.
All right.
Honestly, your whole team has girl boss energy.
They do. Ooh, fucking nice. Just obliterate a skeleton. It's like when you're playing Skyrim, and you shoot one of the skeletons with an arrow, and they just fall to pieces. It's very satisfying.
Beware.
That's hilarious.
Pride.
I think that's how all video game skeletons should work. I love how that guy has skeleton bandages on, and it's just like, what do you have those for? What are you bandaging, buddy? You're a
This just
skeleton.
reminds me of the claymation skeletons in Jason and the Argonauts, who
God, I
they
love
look like they're
those.
about to fall apart with a stiff breeze.
They probably
and
were.
Yet they're unkillable by sword.
Yeah. Oh,
Amazing.
well, he's about to have a heart attack.
As life
That's unfortunate.
ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness
It'd be-
themselves.
Yeah, so he's on death's door, which means the next blow could be his last. So I'm gonna use Solemnity to give him some health and reduce his stress a little bit. And then Ding Dong. And he just keeps saying things, doesn't he? That's always the thing. This game has a wonderful way of, like, cascading, like, stress leads to more stress, and it's horrid. Because you're just like, he says something which triggers a meltdown from someone else who starts being masochistic and hitting themselves, or
God, it's like a queer party after 10 p.m.
I mean, it kind of is. Yeah. Like, the Vestal here is canonically bi, which, Bite Queen, we stand.
I mean, any character that is in this landscape and drawn in this style is canonically bi, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, it's a fair read on things. Hacha. Alright, we've almost got this done, so if we can just hold it together for 30 seconds, you guys, it'll be great. We'll all go home, have a tipple at the bar or whatever. I don't know why I said tipple. Interesting.
Well, it is a totally valid word for having a drink.
It is.
if-
It's just not one I tend to use.
If you're living in London in the 16th century, that is.
Why did I invite you to my stream? If
You
you're-
said something about enjoying my banter, or did I dream that? I think I may have dreamed that.
God damn
One day
you.
somebody will.
These nightmares
someday somebody will. All right. Oh, the sort half is trapped. Well, guess what? We're all going home. You can all chill out.
more bones return to rest.
Ooh, we got some.
Devils remanded to their abyss.
Devils remanded to their abyss. Remanded is a good vocab word. Nice.
Really, just like the more you learning so much today. All right.
Do you think people who like played this game in high school like passed vocab quizzes because of this?
Were you even vocab quizzes in high school?
Well, yes, because my teacher sucked.
That's fair.
But she would have us do all these activities to like use SAT words, even though the SAT had already gone out of style by that point. And like you could get out of the ridiculous amount of vocabulary homework if you passed a pre-quiz at the beginning of the week. And I passed several pre-quizzes exclusively due to Sondheim.
That's fair.
I'm like, oh yeah, this word that's in a Sondheim show. And she'd be like, how on earth did you know that? And I'm like, well, clearly you haven't memorized every single syllable of Sweeney Todd, and that's a you problem.
Clearly. Alright, Chad, what are we naming this guy? This my friend here, who is... May I actually just fire him? He's not looking too hot. Yeah, he's not worth the effort. Actually, you are going out of my camp. Get out.
Slumped shoulders,
Wow.
eyes, and a
Harsh.
stumbling gait.
Yeah, like, if he wanted to come hang out with me, he should have better skills. Or he should have,
Bellows blast once
you know,
again. The forge
less
stands
bad
ready to make
skills.
weapons
Alright,
of
Birdman,
war.
let's get you some better shit.
You're talking to
Make no
someone who
mistake,
literally never
we will
abandoned a
face
Neopet,
ever
so...
greater threats.
Well, Neo,
Our soldiers
one thing you're gonna learn is I'm playing this from the perspective of, like, someone who has played this game a lot. Your heroes are disposable. The whole idea is you chew through them, like, ground beef. It just happens. It's horrible. It makes you a bad person.
Okay, well that's kind of fun,
Yeah.
actually.
Alright, you were never gonna be in the front two lanes, so we're gonna give you judgment.
I often find myself reading horror and rooting for party members to die, so...
Oh, don't worry, we'll get there. Probably not for the first few missions, as they're not that difficult, but oh god, we will get there.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Alright, so we got two new people. We got another highway robber named Fairfax, and an
Oh, keep
abomination...
that! That's Edward Rochester's middle name.
I may change it to Edward Rochester Fairfax, or Edward Fairfax Rochester, if that will fit. Well, it as many characters as we can get into there. Hold on a second, I'm gonna adjust my chair slightly. Alright, there we are. I think that should be better. Look at all these people, so excited to be here, so to atone for their sins.
He looks like he's having a great time.
The bartender, does he? He looks very sad.
No, he does not look like he's having a great time.
Yeah. All right. Let's see about getting some upgrades. Or actually, Renella, you need to go to the transept.
God, me every day. That guy is such a mood.
This lad.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like he is having a rough day. Quite honestly.
A deep existential frown and a large book in front of your face. That's a mood.
We're at a oh yeah, Buffy cannot gamble because she is a known cheat. She has been banned from the gambling hall. So we're going to send her to the brothel. I'm going to rely on you all to not make this weird.
To not make Buffy go into the brothel weird.
Just the brothel weird. Don't be dicks about it. I'm talking to Chad as much as you. I suppose
Okay.
I suppose it's I speak from a high horse considering I know most of you personally. Alright, so I don't think I really let's give the Burt Man the Dodge Stone. That's what I've decided I want to do. Alright. So you can see the bar went up a little bit, so we're about 50% to unlocking the first boss, who I believe is the Necromancer.
I love necromancers!
He is a fun lad. I do appreciate his presence. Here, give me just a second. I am checking my phone. Because I'm curious to see if I am being given an accurate viewer count, because it's been weird recently about that. Oh well, I'll fuck with it later. All right, so we don't want to go to the courtyard because I don't want to start dealing with the Crimson Horde until I kind of have to deal with it, which is a pain in the ass. So I think what we'll do is go on. What do I want to do? Do I want to? So here's a question for y'all. Would you be interested in doing a short another little quest where we take a short little jaunt without a camping phase, or do we want to see how the camping phase looks? I like the camping phase. I think it's fun, personally. What you feeling?
I want you to have fun. That's my vote.
Aw. Well, don't mind if I do. Alright, who we got? We'll bring Lightwatot along because we need some new lads. We need to start like training up the back rows. But as one thing that can happen is if you start training up too many people and getting them, you A, can't do the lower rank quests, and B, you're going to die when if they die, you're screwed, because then you don't have any good party members. Put Dismas back here, and maybe here. Tell you what, we will put in the front row. We're gonna bring two highwaymen, which I think is funny. They're just the same guy. All right. So we got our firewood for making camp, and we got a decent amount of torches. I'll sell one back. Don't need that quite that many. And I want 2 of those, and we'll want 16 food, which should, or yeah, 16 food. I got that right. Which should give us enough to survive pretty comfortably without having to deal with, you know, a huge fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Back into the once more into the breach, as my good friend Henry V said.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar.
All right.
Now,
As you can see with this medium one, we've got a much larger setup. So so I'm counting real quick. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm pretty sure we can miss 2 out of this. So I'm gonna go for missing this one and this one is my current plan, which will require a little bit of doubling back, but not too much. It won't be a huge deal. Oh no. Great start, everyone. So, you've seen the Vestal and the Highwaymen. It's so funny watching them just like walk side to side like, yes, we are the same person. The Abomination can turn into a ghoulish beast who is yeah, sure. However, turning into a ghoulish beast raises everyone's stress, so I don't necessarily want to be doing that too much. Tell you what, we're innocent.
I feel like turning into a ghoulish beast personally would lower my stress.
He is unfortunately traumatized by his ghoulish beastdom.
Oof.
Which, you know what? Sucks to suck, man. He is such a gender. Look at him. He's just a wet little lad.
He certainly is a gender.
Right,
what gender? I don't know, but he is one.
His gender is ghoulish little beast.
Good for him.
And then he swings his mana holes. Not mana holes, mana holes.
Oh my god. I want one that swings his monocles plural too is a really fascinating concept.
Those bionic holes. you know his bionic holes. His Gen 1 bionic holes. No, that weak Gen 2 shit. That shit that came in a fucking can. Ooh, it's dark now. Which is nice for getting, like, the goods, but I don't want to stress people out too badly at this point. Here. Here. We could turn into a beast. Let's just drop back a little bit. Turn into an Ewlish beast. It appears to be like a whole situation where the Ewlish beast is like a different persona than the than the man.
Okay.
Just thought you should know that. The force of devilry.
Dodge!
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead, hot up a fat little bit of poison bile on and just really juice him up with that good poison.
Gross, but also awesome.
It is pretty gross, but it does work. Oh, well, you know, it would have worked if she had managed to successfully push her back. It would have just had returned things to, you know, the status quo, and I would have been like, oh, convenient. Alright, so we're going to want to... Let's not use the Wicked Slice. We'll use a Trap Shot. Give him that little bit of a buff. The blood quickens. I love the way the narrator says that. It's so Ewlish.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Fine, mate. Alright, and...
I'm sure he did some unspeakable evil or something, but I kind of want to be friends with this narrator.
Oh, he super did. Like I mentioned, it is kind of spoilers, but turns out he did a lot of unspeakable horrors. Oh,
I mean, anyone with a sarcophagus on their estate did some unspeakable horrors.
You know what?
Am I right?
Yeah, I can't really argue with you there. Alright, in here we got our first pile of bones and rocks. Thankfully we had a shovel. Alright, good, it's just an empty room. That makes my life a lot easier. We can just turn back around and go back from whence we came.
Whence already means from where. Sorry. Do you still like me?
I'm debating it.
Alright, well take your time. I'm
See,
sure all of your viewers have plenty of time for you to decide.
yeah. I'm sure everyone will really appreciate me just deliberating on my choice at guest.
Otherworldly corruption.
See,
It's okay. From whence is an idiom at this point, and it is allowable.
you sound regretful about it being allowed. I'm not sure you actually believe what you're saying.
No, I'm a descriptivist, not a prescriptivist. I'm a descriptivist. It's fine. And I don't have to convince myself because it comes naturally to me.
Oh yes, of course. I know the impulse.
Glad we agree.
I understand the impulse though. Being raised in a prescriptivist house.
I come from the kind of people who, like, if you get your table manners wrong, will kind of poke you with a fork. Never happened to me, but both my parents were raised that way, so there's a lot to undo.
Yeah. I remember talking about, like, our experience with table manners before, since, like, I was taught, like, basic shit, like, you know, where the forks and where your basic three go, but not, like, the really in-depth, like, we never used a salad fork, if that provides some context.
That does, yes. Wow, I just learned a lot about your family. So what did you eat your salads? What?
Our forks. We had forks.
So you just had, like, double dinner forks?
Yeah.
You would use one dinner fork for the salad and then another second also dinner fork for the dinner.
No, we just had one fork.
Sedated.
Jesus Christ.
Is that... I don't think that's weird, is it?
You've been to my family's Thanksgiving. You know it's weird.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that is definitely true. But also, like...
Well, one of our families is weird, and I insist it's not mine.
like, I in general do not particularly feel the need to hold fast to traditional rules surrounding. Oh well, that's unfortunate. Oh no!
I have to fight an instinct to judge people for it because I know it doesn't matter, and in fact, it's very stupid.
It is indeed very stupid.
But like, it mattered so much to the authority figures around me when I was a kid that it's really hard to fight and care about it.
Yeah.
Masterfully executed.
Alright, he's gonna be dead at the end of the turn, so I don't need to deal with him anymore. Bam! Ooh, nice one. Bat to the pit. I do quote "bat to the pit" frequently when playing D&D. It's a very good line for when
now I know where that comes from because I've heard you say that too.
Right? It comes from
In
this
conversation. Back to the pit.
Bat to the pit. Oh, well, she's just all like, I'm in a she's unmasochistic, which means she wants to be hurt, which like, but not in a sexy way. In a, I'm going to be hit by slings and arrows in a literal sense kind of way.
Not of outrageous fortune, more of self-destruction.
Yeah, exactly. Slings and arrows. Well, not even slings and arrows of self-destruction. Slings and arrows of the guys who were throwing slings and arrows at you.
You know what? Maybe that was in Shakespeare's first draft.
The slings and arrows of the slings and arrows that keep ink fun at me.
Fun fact, a text that's probably loosely based on one of the earlier drafts of the to be or not to be speech exists.
Yeah.
And it is significantly worse.
well, I'm glad that Willy Billy did a second take, you know? Damn it, Bertman. Alright. I want to hit this guy dead because he does a lot of stress damage, and I just want to avoid any of that considering her and the situation we've got going. He also does stress damage, but it's less, and he's poisoned, so I'm a little less concerned. Ooh! Fairfax is at death's door. Every road ends. I'll drink to that, bro. Hacha! Alright, good. There, that takes care of his stun, so no action on his part. Alright, let's heal up Fairfax. Blammo! It was a graveyard slash. Oh, this is not even the worst like joke about like attack names that you will probably hear on stream. Whenever I go and play Final Fantasy XIV and on stream, there is a character in one of the raids that is like a jester lad, and his whole bit is that one of his attacks is named Jauntler. Which, every time I see it, I am sort of impelled to go like, I've got spurs, that jingle jangle jauntler, which I think is very funny. I'm fully aware you all might not find that funny, but fuck you, this is my stream, and I decide the jokes. Yeah.
I mean, you probably could be stopped, but it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it would take effort to stop me, and, like, who actually has the time for that, you know?
Or the energy.
Right?
In this economy?
In this economy? I'm gonna take a moment to have an amp. So this is the amp phase. You hang around, and you have two phases, the meal phase and the skill phase. The meal is how much you eat. And we've got so much goddamn food right now, we're gonna have a feast, which will lower everyone's stress and make everyone feel better.
That is what feasting does.
And I'm going to have... So you have 12, like, time points to spend. And each of these different skills takes a certain amount of time. So we do have mortality debuffs. So we'll go ahead and do Sanctuary, which will help Fairfax here feel better. And go ahead, clean your guns, Dismas. So
The fact that it's called Respite is so funny.
yeah. You hand McGallows humor, which I do think is fun. Alright, we'll go forward. The last one is Unparalleled Finesse. Give you that hella buff. Not but my own blade will find the heart of these monstrosities. Hell yeah, dude. We did die today, consumed in the flame of hope. I've seen nothing I'm not prepared for. We got some variety of thinking here tonight in this Chili's. Alright. We're just gonna... We got 4 more rooms to deal with. First, we gotta fight. Oh shit, we're surprised. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
As it scrambles the party order in some... Oh, Jesus Christ, this is bad. Stop being horny for being hit. Like, at least...
I too dislike surprises that aren't presents.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're gonna have the lad turn into the slavering beast. And we're gonna start moving him forward. Yeah, and they target the one with the highest stress. They're, like, intentionally trying to, put her into, like, having a heart attack. Which I don't...
God, they're like middle managers.
They really fucking are. Alright, she's bleeding and debuffed now. Time to start shooting. Alright, I know he's bleeding. Calm down, game. It's not that much. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
Eventually everyone stops bleeding.
It's just a flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound indeed. The flesh is the I'm not sure how to make this into a bit. The party manager is willing, but the flesh is weak. So which is what I'm saying is you should stop having flesh.
That tracks. Yeah, I'm with you.
Get it out of my house. Remove your flesh. I am no longer asking.
Yeah, at my doorstep, I offer a free tank of domestic beetles so that you can safely remove your flesh before entering.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I thought about, like, that happening when you're alive, and that's nightmarish.
Oh.
So for...
Sorry. Did I overdo it?
No, it was just like, good lord. Alright, so for context for those of you who are, not in the know, what's the name of the beetle again?
Dermestid.
So those are beetles that can be used for removing the flesh off dead bodies for taxidermy.
Yeah, so if you want like a clean skeleton that you can articulate for a display, then you put the corpse in with your domestic beetle colony, which you, as a natural history museum curator, have.
Yes, of course.
And that's how you get those clean bones.
That's how you get all the bones out of there. Well, actually, no. Well, it's how you get the bones out of there, but the bones do survive. It's, like, important that the bones survive. That's why you're using domestic beetles.
Yes, they famously eat everything but the bones. That's their thing.
Yeah, like, everything not bone gets out of there. And there are other ways to taxidermize, to, like, prepare bones for taxidermy. Basically, none of them...
Like, when my cat kills small animals, I put them in a Tupperware container with water and a few drops of dish soap and leave them in there for about 2 weeks. It's real gross to fish the bones out, but then the bones are clean.
That sounds like, I know that works and it's like cheap, but that also sounds horrid. Like, there's
It's extremely unpleasant.
like, I would love having some bones, but having to having to put the bones in the water.
If you wanted bones, all you had to do was ask.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any skeletons that I'm needing defleshed.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I meant that I have some excess bones sitting around.
Oh, you just got some bones ready. Hey, chat. I
It's
hope
like
you're enjoying
Walmart.
this. I hope you're enjoying this extended conversation about taxidermy. We're having a normal one here on chat
Glad you
today.
invited me.
I mean, I find this shit interesting personally, but I also know that for a lot of people it is somewhat foolish to be talking about. But you know, 'tis the season. It's almost October. Thank
It's
you.
the season to be spooky. Fa la 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 la.
Thank you for that song.
You're welcome.
So one thing that I was actually thinking about doing for October is perhaps playing some horror games on stream. Some like, not like the big spooky ones that everyone plays, which like, no shade to a lot of those, but there's been a few games that I've been
Is a rarity.
curious and trying out. Kind of in the, for those of you in the know who watched me play it the first time, Iron Lung, made by the same guy. He also made Dusk, the first-person shooter, which is not quite the vibe I'm looking for, but I like his stuff. There's also a game that I'm interested in called Duskers, where you essentially play the last survivor of a world that has died, moving around and exploring the world through drones. And it's apparently very scary, and I've been interested in checking it out. So
Premise is already so unnerving that I'm not sure how well I'd handle that. So I'm in, obviously.
oh yeah, like from what I understand, it's like actually fucking terrifying, which I don't know. I don't deal well with games that have like big jump scares, but the ones that really traffic in dread, I think are fun. And you know,
I like Dread.
it also like, it's interesting to share those things with other people because it makes me more willing to continue in the process. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, it is. Just like it's easier and more fun to watch horror movies with other people.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I actually was talking on stream yesterday about how we watched The Ritual on Tuesday.
That was super fun.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah. Oddly likable, unlikable characters.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think it'd be fun to do some horror stuff, so I would... obviously for any horror, I will provide, like, content warnings in, like, the stream title, so no one's gonna get, like, blindsided by shit. That would be really unpleasant, and I don't want to do that to anyone, so... We'll make sure... I'll do my best to make sure it's safe, you know?
Absolutely.
Because we're all for being terrified, but it's gotta be, like, a pleasant terrify.
Like, the whole point of horror is that you can experience fear in a safe, contained environment.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
I would say that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's Shelob up to over here?
The spider and the spitter. Why does that spider have 3 body segments? I think that's partially just the animation style, because, like, obviously, like, the thorax and the, torso. I don't know spiders that well.
No, I've just kind of lost track of what we're doing right now,
Oh,
honestly.
we're currently just slowly working our way through this dungeon. We've got 2 more rooms to deal with, and everyone's starting to look pretty rough. Well, there we go. That's unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I hopefully will get lucky, and it will say I have Nope.
I do like that it works in the psychological effects into the mechanics, though. That is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and it's super cool because it really, like, it leans in a way that's, I think, really fascinating, because it's, there we go. Alright, good, we can just go home. A lot of times with, like, games that are psychological horrors, where you're doing, like, where the characters are feeling stressed, it can be hard to really fold the story of them becoming terrified and scared into the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool when they get to do some fun stuff. So, alright, so plus 20 stress if HP below 50. That's unfortunate. It ignores stealth. God damn, that's actually really good. We're gonna have to keep Bertman around. Because some stealth monsters are really frustrating. Ooh, exciting. The shield breakers are really cool class.
Deserves better than this place.
Rouchet. That's a really good name. Alright, we got 2 more people to name. So. Alright. So what was the full name for Fairfax you gave me earlier, Eve?
Edward Fairfax Rochester from Jane Eyre.
Edward Fairfax Rochester, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how many characters you're allowed here.
We're just gonna go for Edward Fairfax, I think.
Okay.
It's a little more succinct. Hello, how's it going? Alright, and Lanquitop.
Have I not made you read Jane Eyre?
I mean, I've read Jane Eyre on my own, I just don't... I couldn't remember I remember Rochester, I just don't remember his full name.
Oh, so you've only read it once? That's
Yeah.
okay, I guess we can still be friends.
Yeah, I read in high school and never read it since. Oh yeah,
Fair enough.
Where it be like that?
I mean, I said fair enough. Did I mean that?
Listen, I can read Jane Eyre again. We can make this happen. I mean, it's gonna go on the pile, but like with like everything else. But you know, we'll get there together.
See, I just reread it once a year, roughly, in cycle, because I just pick it up whenever it's the only thing that can possibly, like, calm my mind.
Here, what are we gonna
So
name?
it's possible that I have an unhealthy attachment to this Victorian novel.
Perhaps. So, all y'all, what are we gonna name this abomination? And I'm not calling him an abomination. Lanky Tot? I do like Lanky Tot a lot. That's really good. Thank you, Isette.
Yes.
Lanky Tot, my good friend, who is a gender. Let's put him. He needs to chill out. So does Bertman. Alright, Bertman. God, the Caretaker is just currently cloistering himself. So we'll put Lanky Tot in the transept. We'll give Edward Fairfax Rochester. Does Edward Fairfax Rochester like to drink?
Yes.
Then we'll put him in the bar. Have fun with that, buddy.
No, he's a Victorian gentleman who doesn't drink.
I mean, that's fair. We'll put Bertman in the brothel. Let her have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. So we do get 2 new boys. Another seer plate doctor and a jester. Love the jesters.
Ooh.
Better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield.
Jesus Christ, dude. Lanky Tot does whatever a Lanky Tot does. Spins a web like a tot. He's a tot. Look out! Here comes a Lanky Tot. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little song for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a musical stream.
Alright, so we're gonna have to...
Ooh, a sanitarium!
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of some of these. These are problematic. I'm gonna say Diurnal is probably the biggest one I have to deal with. But I also... Here. We actually need Reynald for this next quest. So we're gonna hold off on throwing him in the sanitarium until we get another tank, which I would like to get one soon. here. Let us go ahead and do some upgrades for our friends. Alright. Oh yeah, we have to get the first weaponsmithing, so we'll get that. Get that.
A sharper sword.
Alright, there we go. And now he has a little bit better ear, which will be super nice for not dying. Alright, and Buffy can also get a new knife. You don't really need this.
Nice! She deserves it. Good
Hello,
for her.
new friend. Hold on a second. Okay, it's Sarah, so they will be probably in chat in just a moment.
At home in wild places.
There she is. Hi, how's it going?
And a strict instructor.
Very exhausted, but I finally have, like, time to draw.
Nice. What are you
without
gonna do?
feeling guilty about it.
Gonna get some drawing done for the stream? That'd be fun. Well, the chat won't be able to see it, but I am interested in hearing what you want to draw.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw, Alma, because
Oh, yeah.
Alma's, like, a bit plus-sized, and so, like, you know how, like, Hero Forge is?
Yeah, it's really not good for that.
Yeah, so I, like, wanna do, like, Alma, but, like, my own art style, so.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Are we doing the same style as, like, the whole, like, half-body?
Yeah.
Or are we just doing head bust?
You can do either, as per your own wishes.
Okay, I'll try to copy, the style with Archie, but...
I think, yeah, if you do that, it'll work just fine. Alright, so we have our first boss coming up, the Necromancer Apprentice, but I probably... You know what, we're good for that. Yeah, let's bring Renal in there, Dismas, Duvet, who she and Dismas can do some position swaps. And we will get... Let me see. Yeah, Battlefield Medicine, which would be helpful. Tell you what, before we head out, I will give Senless some new...
Some may fall.
We'll give her
lives on.
Emboldening Vapors, which is a really useful skill. And we'll remove Incision, as she's not going to use it. She'll just hang out in the bat and work with it. Disorienting Blast, Battlefield Medicine, and Plate Grenades. I think that will give us a good loadout. Alright. Oh, I meant to do that with Buffy. Here. Well, let's do it for Buffy, too. Alright, Buffy, let's get you Battlefield Medicine.
I love you, Buffy.
My best friend. I love the Plate Doctor.
I would like to give her a forehead kiss. Would that help her in battle?
It might provide some buffs. So one of the I'd say the most popular Wooloo, which I just think it's fun to say Wooloo ships for this game is the Grave Robber and the Plate Doctor, which is known as Plate Robber. Yeah. And it's very cute. I've got some good...
I love that. That is such a lesbian pairing.
When you... Yeah, the magical lesbian pairing of me and my girlfriend are out here. She's high femme, I'm a weird little butch in a mask, and we're here to hit ass and possibly steal corpses for science.
For science.
For science.
Mastery over life.
All right, so we're
Grave robbing is historically a very important part of medicine.
I mean, yeah, like straight up, like it's part of the Plate Doctor's backstory. By the way, whose character name is Paracelsus, after the Swedish physician who was not a woman, but you know what?
That's what my favorite taxidermy bat is named after.
Oh, nice. Um,
A devil walks
Um,
these halls.
yeah, she, her extremely rude instructor, she, after he died, she used his body for science. Real boss things.
Yeah, I mean, any reasonable scientist would then donate their body, and it's very funny part of a lot of famous early doctors' biographies that they were obsessed with their bodies not being dissected.
I know one people.
They were like, "Oh yeah, I am obsessed with dissecting bodies, and I will go to great lengths to get bodies to dissect. But if anyone dissects my body after I die, I will cry."
Yeah, which, like, wow, hypocrite? Fuck, rude.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But a victory nonetheless.
God damn it, Renaud. I would have liked to have those things.
Treasure could staunch the flow.
He just stuffs an entire shovel down his pants. And we will not see it again. Alright.
Magic pants.
Well, that's how you steal. Alright, I am checking this little alleyway down here because I don't want to find out later that the boss was down here the entire time. And then have to hike all the way back. That would suck.
I mean, that would be funny.
I mean, it would be funny for everyone that's not me, I think is the thing. I would have a poor time with it. Alright. The Hippocratic Oath is also the Hippocratical Oath.
Surges as the enemy.
Yeah, that... I'm not actually sure. Would those early physicians have followed the Hippocratic Oath? I wouldn't necessarily think so.
The Hippocratic Oath, I'm pretty sure, is a fairly recent, like, maybe late 19th century, early 20th century invention. Now I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I read it. It's the Hippocratic Oath is also the Hippocratical Oath. It's a pretty good bit. Thank you for contributing. That sounded really sarcastic, and I did not mean it to. I apologize. Hacha! Ooh, got him.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope.
But yeah, so there are a lot of jokes you can make around the hypocritical bit. It's a solid avenue for comedy. Hacha! Alright, he's gonna die when he next takes his turn.
Slow death.
Fucking love damage
So
over
it
time.
is, okay, so the Hippocratic Oath, as we know it, is adapted from an actual Hippocratic text.
Yeah, like Hippocrates. That lad.
I
Everyone's-
always assumed that it was written by some doctor and who just claimed it was from Hippocrates, but it's actually a translation of a Hippocratic text.
I mean, considering generally how the history of medicine... Oh, that's unfortunate.
The AMA version was first adopted in 1847, though, if that helps.
Okay, so definitely... Is that later than the documents to which you were referring?
Hippocrates was an ancient Greek.
No, not that. The 1840s codification of the Hippocratic Oath.
Later than what?
What you were talking about, doctors who did not want to be dissected. I'm referring back to the
Yeah, no, that continued well into the 19th century. But yeah, I mean, most of that stuff happened in the 17th and 18th centuries. That was when doctors still knew nothing about science and were really superstitious, but some of that continued throughout the 19th century.
Hear that, once upon a Mist, your joke is vindicated. We did it, everyone. We win. Ha 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 ha.
Also, once upon a Mist says, learning new things. A Bricino. You're still getting like 30 seconds of delay on my messages.
I'm reading their messages.
Lightning McQueen voice. Ka-chow.
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 Every time I hear Lightning McQueen, have you all seen that one video of someone who bought an embroidery machine that is Disney branded and it came with a free pattern?
No!
I did not.
It's a really good video, and so the phrase homosexual Lightning McQueen is still lodged firmly in my brain. Her chow. If
Gay Lightning McQueen.
I think
her chow.
Owen Wilson was on like maybe Colbert one time and did a skit with him about like the audition for Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
I barely remember what the punchline was, but
I mean, was it her
like,
chow?
Seeing the emptiness in Owen Wilson's eyes as he remembered this time, really, it was so special to me. And yes, he was Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, an embroidery pattern of Lightning McQueen on their embroidery machine. So they used like rainbow thread to create their Lightning McQueen, and at the end it was like, I have done it. I have made a homosexual Lightning McQueen her chow, and that phrase is
Her
like
chow.
lodged firmly in my brain. It will not leave. Her chow.
Wow, and they meant it.
Remind yourself that overconfidence.
Meanwhile, see, the only thing about Lightning McQueen that I'm aware of is one by Ice, an artist who yassifies media that you would not expect to be yassified.
Lightning McQueen?
Lightning McQueen got yassified. I need to remember what she specifically did with. So, okay, actually the phrase is icify, because Ice does a different thing than just, plainly yassify. She doesn't just yassify, she will include real-life issues and critiques into something like Lightning McQueen. So let me see
what do you mean
for
by...
example,
You're going to have to elaborate on what you mean by real-life issues and critiques.
like... I need to look her up. Give me a moment. I'm not looking up ice cream. Illustrate. I hate. Okay, waiting. Here we go. I hate technology. I'm a boomer.
Okay.
Except I'm not. I'm like the youngest person on this stream right now.
You definitely are.
Here, let me see when she ossified Lightning McQueen. Okay.
Her chow.
Oh, so for example, a New York Times newspaper where Lightning McQueen was canceled because he was talking about how they should ban the Confederate flag from NASCAR.
Yeah, so that was what canceled him. That's what got Lightning McQueen canceled. That he thought, hey, maybe let's not have the Confederate flag for NASCAR. Hey, it's like, how's it hanging?
And then another thing yassified was...
Alas.
Well, icified was, like, for example, Chris McLean from Total Drama Island. He's drawn hot, and I hate that. Let's see, it's like Christ versus Chris, 2024, an evangelical election. It's an entire article dedicated...
Love some enchiladas.
Of how Chris McLean was like global crime rank number 4, war crime class rank number 2, entertainment class rank number 1, organized crime.
Wait, no. Did you say war crime class?
Yes.
Okay, just good. All
right. We clarified this.
Tax evasion ranked number 5, and it was basically about how Chris McLean was like against abortion, not against abortion, against pro-lifers. I think I need to specify.
All right, so pro-choice Chris McLean.
Yeah, and how.
What the fuck is going on in this goddamn stream? I was not expecting this to be the topic of conversation.
The worst part is like. They're very well written articles. Like, I'm gonna send this one in actually. It was very interesting reading it. I'm sending it to the Gamer Crimes Instagram chat. But
Sure. I will not be
Let's-
able to chat that for a hot minute, but I will let it
Yeah.
later. I think you already sent that. I recall seeing something
think
to
so,
that effect,
yeah.
essentially.
okay, here, like, evangelical criminals are not as cool as they think they are, Chris scoffs. It's really just as boring as net crime. No finesse. They're not inclusive, dude. So basically, he hates him.
So he think. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Is that... This seems like a goddamn experience, is what I'm hearing.
It's amazing. I'm so glad I found this artist.
Alright.
My life has not been the same since then.
Yeah, that does seem like you look at that and it changes your brain chemistry like indelibly.
Seize this momentum.
Nothing you can do
Push
about
on
it.
to the tasks
The internet is great for that.
Yeah.
Multiple gut punches a day.
Just for really amazing for just kind of making your life worse. Alright, so I'm gonna get down to here and then I'm gonna take the camping. I think that's a good place. That's about halfway through. Because the only two battles are these 2 room battles. And if we survive those, we'll be good in a good position to... God damn it, I forgot to disarm the trap. I'm a fool. Salvage the unburned torch.
Finding the
I'll
stuff
just
is only the first test.
It's funny how sometimes with those torch sconces you get just a bit of money in there. It's like, how'd that get in there? What you doing in there, buddy? Hacha!
Eric, I'm still like, okay, Michelle, give me a moment. It's on Instagram, and I don't know if you have an Instagram, so give me a moment. I'll send it to Casey.
Is something going on in the Discord that I'm just not aware of at the moment as I'm streaming?
Oh yeah, Michelle's just asking me to send the Isified Chris McLean.
Oh, nice!
Good lord.
Yeah, you told me a little bit that was gonna happen. Fucking whack that he's just like... Yo, and that's not great.
Or the foolhardy.
Well, Duvet's dead. That's unfortunate.
Okay.
His second trip to Lima in a month. Good God. Like, I totally get wanting to escape the United States, but... Jesus! Yeah, Instagram search is not that functional. It's not quite as bad as Tumblr search, where I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, Instagram isn't quite as bad as like Tumblr, where you'll get higher dividends by literally just searching it on Google, but yeah, it's not a very functional bit. Ah, shit! God damn!
Position.
2 people dead.
This sprawling tomb.
Alright, we're gonna abort the quest, I think, after we finish this battle, because we're not getting anything done with just 2 people. Alright, well, good job, everyone.
Do not ruminate
Sorry, I
on
bumped
this
my mic
fleeting
stand.
failure. The campaign is long, and victory will come.
Eventually. Someday. Really ashamed to lose Buffy and Duvet that earlier. Oh no! Reynaud's got horny. He's not allowed to visit the brothel for reasons best left to just unsaid, and it's like, oh yeah, the flagellants, my boy!
He
My
bears the
lad.
sin of 1,000 lifetimes.
He's a lot to experience. Alright, who we got? Oh hey! We got some more Crusaders, that's actually good. Alright, what have we got in the... We're in a, Fart Guy? You mean,
Mighty sword arm anchor,
who is Fart Guy?
a zealous warrior.
Alright, so... We need to deal with some of the high stress. Dismas is having a rough go of things, so let's have him get horny, have fun. I did not say flatulence. Lanky Todd, God, I fucking love Lanky Todd is just like a name. It's really good. He's my
That
best.
is pretty soft.
He's my best friend, and Alright. Yeah, how dare you mishear me? Is that, yeah, oh, so rude. I'm going to fist fight you. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Alright. Well, I think I do not feel really comfortable taking on the boss quite yet. May actually get up to like level 2 with one or two of my lads. So what I think I'm going to do is go to a different area. We go to the Darkest Dungeon, just really fuck up some of my boys. They will all die horribly. So, let's go to the Weald. That's where I'm feeling.
Okay. I will be right back. I'm just going to step away for a second.
Yeah, no worries.
I will say something about Illustrise though. Unironically, I do like her stuff because it's not just that she got her popularity. Sorry.
This is the Yasify person.
Yeah, so like she got her popularity because she would basically draw Disney princesses as princes, but also like make them gay pretty much, and it's great.
Okay.
And like her popularity boomed from making an Incredibles adaptation of her own style. But the best part is she says that she hates superheroes. She never even got into superheroes before. That was her first time getting into it. And it was only so she can talk about the horror behind fast fashion through a superhero sequel for Incredibles.
I mean, good for her.
So it's why I think Ice is one of those artists that I strive to be in the future because she mixes a lot of graphic design into her work too. Like, she will like write out entire articles and tells a story, but through like New York Times articles, Time Magazine.
Yeah.
She one time did one about like one of the characters is like a billionaire, so she studied Forbes magazines from the 80s era to specifically hi.
Oh, hey, Seth, how's it going?
I just decided I'm not allowed to watch the stream anymore, so I'm seeing if Discord works, and it does.
Oh, nice. That's super weird.
Twitch banned you for bone crimes.
The bone crimes were a hot fucking minute ago.
Casey has infected me with the buffer.
Oh no!
Is Michelle coming in as well?
I mean, she's welcome to if she wishes. And you too, random listener, could also potentially join our Discord if you wanted to. At a Discord. I can't make a permanent link, but we can work on getting... I was hoping maybe to add some more people to that. We'll see. So yeah, let me know if you want a link. We're all hanging out there.
I'd love to boost your Discord server, but right now I'm boosting our D&D server.
Yeah, it happens.
So
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves.
Alright, so this is another one where we gotta boost yo. Ooh, treasures hidden behind the web. Exciting. That's a spooky little charm.
but definitely like I find so she studied Forbes magazines from the 80s so that she can accurately depict that in her story.
I love this funnel scratcher because he's just so goddamn stanced up. Look at him. Just like, hi, welcome to Chili's. So unfortunately, the downside of this, the Warrens and the Blight, is that very frequently they all have really high Blight resistance because they're all sick as hell and not in the way that like they're rad as fuck. But they all bleed, so that's good. Alright, let me see.
You know, just a casual Thursday.
Yeah. We will... Hacha! And harvest. God damn it, Marcio, who is probably it'd be Maraschino.
Grievous injury. Palpable.
The Jester's a funny little lad. He hailed at King.
Oh! I just walked back in. Where's the Jester?
He is currently in the third rank right here. Hello, Yaniv.
Hello.
You see, he's at the sail.
I see. Yes, as Jesters often do.
Yeah, you know how Jesters has sails very frequently. It's a classic.
The slow death. Unforeseen.
Alright,
Unforgiving.
let's try using this. It's been a minute since I've really messed with the shield breaker too much. She's interesting, though. There goes the Jester. Alright. He needs some bleed, so let's make him bleed. Nasty lad.
Oh. Extremely nasty.
Yeah, they're really gross little gentlemen. Alright, we got a stun. We will slice off that boy. The whole bit with the Jester is you were trying to work your way up to like the strong finisher of the finale, which does a lot of damage.
Okay.
So he's an interesting guy. A lot of his attacks give him more consistent consistent damage buffs to the finale. So yeah, here. We'll have him leap forward, and next time it's his turn, we will get him to do the finale, which we should be set up pretty well for that. Yeah, this one will be dead here in a second. We will Battlefield Medicine the Jester, which will help. Interesting.
The Jester kinda cute.
Yeah, he's a vibe.
You could say he's a gender.
He is definitely the gender of funny little lad. Alright, finale time.
There are a lot of genders in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your finale. Alright, and yeah, we can now move everyone back into their... Yeah, the little mushroom guys are pretty fun. They're my friends. Alright.
Your murder.
Yes, they are trying to kill me, but they can't help it. We are very poisoned. I'll have to get Sarah. We'll have to get the Jester. Fuck. We'll have to get the Jester some healing when next rolls around. Yeah, any kind of mushroom behind any kind of genre, that's my friend. Alright. Here, we will harvest the blood. Alright. Pierce the armor. Drain the blood. Mushrooms are just... do love a good mushroom. Every time I think about mushrooms, I think about Eldon Stamets from Hannibal.
Mushrooms?
Yeah, I knew that would get your attention.
Sorry, I was reading a webcomic. Well, not a webcomic. I was reading a web episode from Suitor Armor because that's the only story I'm willing to like read right now. Plus Fast Pass for.
Oh yeah.
But also like I heard mushrooms. Where? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just some
I
fun
love
guys.
the design.
Yeah, they are some fun guys.
I'm so sorry.
Did you just say mushrooms taste terrible?
No.
No,
not.
Yakko in
I
chat
love
said
mushrooms.
that. And like,
Oh.
it's like I understand, but like it's a texture thing. It is for a lot of people. I personally am a big fan. They really don't, and I don't know where you've got this
They
impression.
don't taste like dirt. Who made you mushrooms? Who made you mushrooms? No, tell me who made you mushrooms right now.
Jesus Christ.
That's true. It's hard for it to be a texture thing when you can cook them to a variety of different textures.
I mean, they do have kind of a base texture to them, though.
They do.
You know
yeah.
what? I will take your word on texture. You are the expert, but
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like they have a variety.
Yeah, there are different ways you can prepare them to like either like to alter the texture somewhat, but like I don't know. I don't want to like shit all over someone because they don't like mushrooms.
No, I know.
And I would also like to register my hatred for the early 2010s Portobello Burger trend because it was not good.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, like, I am all for non-meat burgers, but I do not like Portobello, Sam, I am.
My problem wasn't, like, Portobello itself. It was just... Okay. So it was my friend's birthday party, and her dad coincidentally was making vegetarian burgers only because one of his family members is vegetarian. So I was lucky that I managed to even eat at that party.
Oh, yeah.
But he cooked Portobello burgers, and it sucked. Like, it was okay, but it's in the sense that, like, they made burgers, but they didn't add any tomatoes, any, like, sauces, any cheese.
So was it just a Portobello
Nothing.
mushroom on a bun?
Yes.
Also, Portobello mushrooms don't make good burger patties because they're weird and slippery and chewy, which burger patties famously are not.
Yeah, that is true.
I like
Yeah.
portobello mushrooms, but you have to like know what dish to put them in, and a whole portobello top as a patty does not work.
I'm glad we're getting the real information, the lowdown on portobello mushroom patties. I haven't had that many of them, TBH. I stopped.
Listen, I have the lowdown on every meat substitute that anyone has tried since 1992. Just test me.
Oh, I know you do. I know I personally like stopped eating meat. By the time I stopped eating meat, that was a poor choice on my part. I should have gotten that guy. By the time I stopped eating meat, like, pretty good substitutes had already been available. Like the Impossible Burger came a little bit after for me, like the first time. But also like black bean burgers, which I find I enjoy more when I try not, like, I don't conceptualize them as their own thing, you know?
They are their own thing.
Or sorry, I did say that backwards, but thank you for eating what I meant.
If you have the option to order a black bean burger or an Impossible Burger and you feel like a black bean burger, then they taste good. If it's your only option, they do not taste good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my case. Because I do not like black bean burgers. Like, I think, what was I thinking? I know right now the trend for vegetarian, like, replacement, one of them is, like, cooking watermelon to taste like fish.
Ew!
And
That makes no sense.
yeah, it's like for sushi replacement specifically.
Well, it would be crispy in sushi, I guess.
Like, is it like, is this like a sashimi substitute situation, or is it like rolls?
I think for both.
That sounds.
But one of it. Okay, the concept is like basically it's all in the marination of the watermelon, using seaweed and soy sauce to basically get that fishy taste, but you know, still make it vegan.
Yeah.
And
I recently went to Hawaii and there was a vegan sushi restaurant we went to, and it was great, but a lot of the replacements were just essentially some combination of root vegetables. Like, if it ain't broke, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, like, I've heard the plant meat substitutes are good when they embrace being plants and bad when they try too hard to imitate me. I need to resize the chat slightly, just a second. Yeah, I tend to find that true as well. Like, I like it when they're just kind of their own thing. and they're like chill with that, and you know, it works better, I think. Spiders.
Yeah. That's something true I find as someone. I'm really waiting for that lab meat.
I mean, there's some good lab meat already in existence, which I appreciate personally. Like, I do enjoy a good burger.
Yeah, like I eat meat. Like I eat meat and I eat vegetarian options because I'm Muslim and there's not a lot of halal restaurants out there. So for me, I would have like friends ask me like, okay, is this like a vegetarian burger? And I'll be like, yeah, there's a very difference between Impossible Burgers and real burgers. But like Impossible Burgers and like such, they're pretty good.
Impossible Burgers are like almost indistinguishable, pretty much.
Yeah, the only difference is
that's what my
texture.
mom says, but she hasn't eaten a burger in like 30 years, so I don't 100% trust her. It's just I've never eaten a burger, so I have trust her more than me.
Yeah, it has been a long-ass time for myself. So, I have eaten real burgers. For me, if they're hooked, well, alright, good, she's still alive. If they're hooked, well, they're pretty much indistinguishable, yeah.
Yeah, cause like the only way I would know definitely it's like not a real burger. It's like when I eat into it, like you look at the texture and how the patty is formed, and it doesn't look like grounded meat. It looks like there's some, not tofu, but like I don't know how to word it. It feels like there's a bit more variety in shapes of the texture than with a real burger where it's more uniformed because they're all ground meat.
Okay. Well, I personally didn't notice the texture difference, but I do not doubt that it is there. I just have not personally one. I don't know. I think they're a really good substitute. And, like, well, I do think there is some discussion. I do think there's some discussion to be had. They're probably not the healthiest thing for you, but honestly, I care more about, like, the ethics of my food than, like, sheer health value. In a lot of cases, like, I'm eating a fucking burger. I've accepted that it's not the best for me. Ooh, nice. We got some good purse. If I ever move out and make my own meals, yeah, I feel like, Sarah, do you have any information about meat from halal or kosher sources being like more ethically raised?
Yes, so a huge reason why like halal, I'm gonna say kosher, but I need to like put a disclaimer. I am not Jewish. However, I've had this conversation with Jewish people as well because we were talking about the comparison between kosher and halal, and we found out it was pretty similar. The concept is that animals should not be, there shouldn't be animal cruelty basically involved. And so, look, I hate my dad, but he was a butcher, so I was like, I saw a lot of his like, process. He would like, especially go to like Amish. He would go to Amish, he would go to like local farms. He would buy animals from there, and then he would raise them, make sure they're fed well, and then afterwards he would butcher them. So it's definitely, like, first of all, you're not going to get, like... And also the way it's butchered as well is important that it dies as painlessly as possible. And lastly, there's sort of, like, a spiritual connection with animals as well. So before the butchering happens, you would say... So this is the religious part, but essentially it's Bismillah Allahu Akbar, which is in the name of God. God is great, but also the reason why you say that is you're asking permission from God to take the soul of the animal, so that you can feed yourself.
Interesting.
So, and also that's why also like we have like a lot of dishes that uses as many parts of the animal as possible.
Makes sense.
We have dishes of eating brains, tongues, heart, a lot. So when I come here and I talk about these dishes, I was shocked by how much, like, I'm gonna say Americans, but I was shocked by how much they would be like, why would you do that? Because of just how much over-commercialized meat is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. Alright, I really hate to
Yeah.
drag the conversation away from this, as it is interesting, but we do need to name some people. So we
Okay.
we add Senless here. Y'all ain't good names for me, people in the hall.
Ein. I-N-E.
Sure.
Alright, sure, why not?
Why not?
Well, that's the name of my D&D character who's a plague doctor.
I really, I really hate to say this. I just probably going to die horribly.
It's okay.
All right. Attack has suggest Fun Boy as opposed to Fuck Boy, which I also think would be funny.
That would be funny.
Do both next time. Like, add it to the queue list.
Pilot who will be Fun Boy, because I think he's a funny little lad.
Also, it's okay if Ein dies horribly. It's what he wants.
Oof. All right, we're That's how you spell Maraschino, right?
I don't think so.
There's an H in there.
Huh?
There's an H.
Like that?
Yeah.
Cool. Maraschino. Fun Boy, Slippy Jim. You're really knocking out some bangers out there for us.
Also great band names.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna name Rouchit here. You know what? I'm gonna name her Groucho Marx, because that's what I'm feeling.
Love it. I love it. Also, my grandma had a cat named after Groucho Marx.
That's good. Alright, I will...
Actually, my cousin still has him. He's like 20 years old at this point. I keep forgetting he's alive.
Okay, there's an A in there. Sure, we'll put an A in there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, Marash. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Although I do like the idea of Maraschina. I think that's good. Dr. Busto. Dr. Busto, a powerful friend. Alright. We're out of...
Bustopher Jones from Cats.
Bustopher Jones, in parentheses, from Cats.
Wait, I have another recommendation if you're still looking for
We are out of new boys. We're gonna get some new boys in there. But...
Hold on to that. I'm sure there will be more
Yes.
new boys after more of these boys die.
Yes, we are going to have to really just do some horrible, horrible things to these lads. Here, let's get Dismas in here. Does Dismas have lunge? We need to get Dismas a lunge. Let's get him lunge. Alright, there we go.
Well, I will say, you'll definitely more likely be paying, like, it will be a bit, I don't know how the difference of prices, but, like, halal meat, it will definitely be fresher. I'll say that. It's more likely to be fresh meat.
I can imagine that being the case because, like, just due to the way that supply chain would have to work for...
And it would also reduce the waste of animals' lives because they would, I presume, based on those criteria, be slaughtered less often and only based on demand.
Yes. So from what I remember, what Dad's work load was like, whenever it's Eid al-Adha, that's when he would like buy a lot more sheep than
Sure.
say like your average day.
Tell you what, we'll take Groucho Marx out for another spin.
And also, I will guarantee another thing: if the animal dies, they will be grieved for. They will be grieved for. That's another thing I've noticed.
All right, let's move. Sorry to be a downer. Let's move on from the talk of animal death. I think that's made a little more grim than I want to be at this particular moment. The only grimness But,
No,
like,
you're good. You're
This
good.
conversation we should definitely have sometime when we're not playing a video game.
yeah, like it's a great conversation that I would love to have, just not this moment.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Back to vegetarian food. Our university.
Oh, our university consistently fucks us. For those of you who are in the know about the university, please do not mention it by name. I'm trying to avoid like sharing too much of personal information on the stream. So
Yeah.
Self-doxing is not hot girl shit.
it's not. God, I hate this map. Look at it. So I'm going to have to follow this train up into this area and then swing back. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. Not.
I wish you luck.
I mean, dungeon crawls aren't, as far as I've heard, supposed to be easy.
They're not, but it's just, this is not an optimal layout for a dungeon. It's never great when you have to do these big switchbacks to get back to where you started.
Fair.
Ooh. That's a spook heap. That's some skeleton in the ew. What am I saying?
Like, right now, one of the few vegetarian options is literally a black bean. And because this is you-know-who.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's you-know-who. They are not cooked well at all.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the pit.
So, I'm spending most of my money either on sushi or on, what's it called? Like Starbucks.
Yeah. Do they question, and this is going to sound vaguely unhinged, the Ely friends are the ectoplasms. They're just kind of like a ghost, I guess. It's pretty odd. So, do they still sell prepackaged hard-boiled eggs in the cafeteria?
Yes.
See,
And they still sell them 3 at a time.
an odd number for eggs. I remember I would have those eggs a lot, because like I like hard-boiled eggs quite a bit. They're a fun snack to keep with you in your pocket. Well, not in your pocket, but just on you.
They're a whole experience eating hard-boiled egg.
Keep that motherfucking thing on me, and that motherfucking thing is in fact a hard-boiled egg.
I was so lucky because I went to shall not be named, but very obvious to locals, school that has a reputation as being kind of the liberal arts school in town.
It sure does.
And this was, like 2009 to 2012 or something. I don't know years, but they had
Time
a
is illusion.
Another one for
They had a what?
lunchtime doubly so. And yeah, they had a veggie burger in more than one of their campus eating options.
I'm honestly pretty baffled by that. Like, even for
And it was a Boca burger, and not everyone knew how to cook it, but you could always get a veggie burger and fries.
that's pretty wild, honestly.
Yeah,
Pretty wild.
it was. Also, the meal plan, it was expensive, but it was kind of unlimited. So my
Oh,
friend
yeah?
who didn't get a meal plan and then kept forgetting to eat, I could just buy him lunch every day. It was great.
Yeah, unfortunately, our university, really frustratingly, the meal plan is shitty, to my understanding. Like, I haven't had a meal plan since, my freshman year, which was years ago at this point. But,
And you still don't have a meal plan.
yeah, yes, I live alone. My meal plan is whatever I buy and cook.
Which is not 3 of meals.
Are you trying to call me out for my, bad eating
I'm
habits?
telling you, you should eat more. Yes.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Finally, you agree with me! Someone who agrees with me!
Listen,
I
if Yad, listen, if Yad wanted me to have more than just coffee in the morning, I would stop being nauseous.
So it sounds
Well-
like you should move forward with the assumption that God wants that, then.
Well, I am famously not a big fan of what Yad wants, so
Corruption.
Okay, well, okay. Consider this, though. Sappho wants you to eat breakfast.
Yes! Wait, did we actually got to you?
Silence.
Listen,
Did we actually?
listen,
We got to you!
listen. Here's the thing.
Step.
No.
How dare you?
No.
How dare you?
No
Grace
to
Sappho.
Sappho.
How dare you?
Listen, I eat.
Not even. Hold on. Great joke coming. Not even a little bit of celery.
That was a very good joke, and I appreciate the joke. Listen. Alright. So, this is not a thing I do anymore. I have moved on. I'm in a better... Yeah, I did have the angry mode turned on. I've got a lot of different emojis. I haven't had much of a use for the blushy one, even as cute as it is, but we'll find a time. But, essentially, here's what I did in, like, my sophomore year of college. I was a disaster in my sophomore year of college. I had a jar of peanut butter that whenever I was too depressed to, like, eat real to, like, do anything more than, like, the bare minimum, I would take a spoonful of peanut butter and just eat it.
There's some news for you about growing up vegetarian in the 90s.
What?
Sometimes a spoonful of peanut butter was the available snack.
True, but, like, this wasn't the 90s. This was 2000 whatever. I don't remember the year,
But
actually.
you know why it was a good snack, though, is because
It's
it
hot.
had calories and protein.
No,
And
like, straight up,
so
that's...
valid, actually. I'm trying to tell you that it's valid.
Yeah, like, straight up, it was not a stupid thing. It was like, I was, like, legitimately trying to, like, figure
Feed
things
yourself.
out. To feed myself,
Yeah.
and it was difficult sometimes to do the actual work of that, so the peanut butter was honestly a really good strat, because, like, it wasn't a good, like, mouth experience. I wouldn't ever say I had a good time just trying to stuff peanut butter in my mouth. But it was food, and it was calories and protein, which is... that's it, you know?
It is good.
But yeah, a lot of the reason I don't eat breakfast is just because I get I wake up nauseous basically every day. I have no explanation. If you have an explanation, I would love to hear it. Don't actually try to diagnose me with anything that was a bit.
I am the opposite. I usually wake up hungry and sometimes too hungry to effectively make a breakfast, so I get really frustrated.
And I recommend you a spoonful of peanut butter.
This is why I like to have, like, a small pastry type item that I can just shove in my face with my coffee so that I don't get bad coffee stomach from just drinking coffee. And then I worry about the rest later.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. With the shield breaker, every time you go to bed, you have a fucking experience nightmare dream, so get ready for that. Alright.
Yikes.
Alrighty. Have bandit sense. Here. Wait, oh. What do I want to do? Alright, that'll work. Alright, time for a fun nightmare.
In radiance,
Oh!
may we
It
find
didn't
victory.
do it. Oh, maybe you have to. Maybe turning on the anti ambush skill did that. Coffee is, I don't know. I know for a lot of people it's like an acquired taste. I personally really fucking love coffee, Although I find myself usually just whenever I want like a hot drink, I usually go for tea because it's just kind of easier to deal with. It's a little simpler to make. So, hacha!
Yeah, for me,
It
it's
is.
like
Unless you have a taste for instant coffee, in which case, go away.
I do not have a taste for instant. I unfortunately am a bit of a coffee snob, so not like insufferably so, but I do like good coffee.
for me, I'm simple. I'm mentally ill, so I will drink cold brew and iced coffee. I cannot stand hot coffee though, unless it's Turkish coffee. That's the only coffee I'm willing
God,
to like,
Turkish
drink
co-
hot.
Turkish coffee's so good. I love that shit.
But I need to eating something super sweet, so when I'm drinking the coffee, it feels very effective. You know, like there's like a specific thing
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah.
You know what's the best coffee beverage is rosewater kahwa.
You like everything with rose water.
Yes, I do because
Rosewater's
it's
good.
It's good.
I know it's good. I just think it's fun to make fun of you for it because you put in everything.
Because it makes me feel like a fairy princess.
That's entirely fair. One thing Eve makes is a really killer gin and tonic with rose water. I love those things.
If only I can drink gin.
Yeah, I don't know what to do for you.
You're gonna have me desperately Googling, like, non-alcoholic gin and tonic recipes now.
I mean, definitionally, it would not be a gin and tonic.
Yeah, it would be a mocktail.
You know what, Julia?
There would be, like, I wonder if you could do some kind of a botanical-infused water situation. Unfortunately, though, the part of what makes like botanicals work is the alcohol like leaches out the botanical oils into your drink.
Would be challenging. But like the combination of bitterness and sweetness in the elderflower tonic I use, plus the rose water, you would need something a little sharp to balance that out. So it would be a difficult thing to make.
Yeah,
But
I believe
but
you.
I am. But and I have no talent for chemistry, but someone on the internet does, and I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah. You've never tried coffee. Sorry, I haven't responded to some of these messages. Acquired taste is just another word for Stockholm syndrome. I mean, like, yeah, but also, I don't know, man. Like, it's like you don't have to like shit, but I do just really enjoy coffee. It makes me happy. And I don't know. Yeah, there probably is a good version of a mock gin, and I don't know. It's difficult because like with a lot of mocktails, they're ones that are like pretty like complex in like instruction. It's whereas having that's unfortunate.
Well, my attitude toward cocktails is the opposite of my attitude toward baking. I will do anything to create a good cocktail.
Yeah, it's
Whereas
shit.
baking makes me want to die, even if it's literally just you unroll a thing of sugar cookie dough and cut it up.
I love baking, which is why we're good
Which is why
friends.
we're well matched.
Yeah, you eat my baked goods, I bake my baked goods.
Perfect.
But yeah, like, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, gin and tonics. That'd be a difficult one to replicate because it's such a spare recipe. Like, so much of the drink is gin that, like, I don't know. I worried you'd have issues trying to create an effective substitute. Somehow I didn't know you didn't like baking Italian. You know, I know you're like a really good cook and shit. Which, yes, I am going to ask you up about this. But I didn't know you didn't bake or didn't like to bake.
Wait, who's a good cook?
Italian.
Ah, gotcha. Because I can't see the chat. Well, I could, but I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't opened it.
No.
Success clearly in view. Or is it merely
Yeah, I imagine it'd be difficult to, like, since you're cooking for, like, a lot of people. baking for me is like a lot of the stuff I like about it is the zen aspects of it. Oh, more of those skeleton boys. It's like, I don't know. I always lean towards bread rather than pastries. Pastry cooking is very much its own situation.
Nightmare.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite put it like that, but yeah, it's difficult and it requires a fair amount of. It is a particular type of skill. So yeah, I bake bread, which bread is much more patience-based than pastry. So like pastries, in my experience, I've cooked some pastries, and it's kind of like you're always racing the butter, because if you have done like your puff pastry dough, which I do like making puff pastry, it's fun, but baking can be an exact science, but I don't know. I think of it as a very procedural type of fun, where you have to essentially take your time, be patient, put on some good music, have good smells. Love the smell of baking bread. It's so good.
Yeah,
I need it.
Patience is not my strong suit. That's why when I do cook, I'm like stovetop cooking only. If I can't fiddle with it the whole time, I can't cook it.
Yeah. Excuse me.
See, for me, I'm a cook. I don't bake. I leave that for my brother and my mom. They like baking more, but when I do, okay, I think I need to specify. When I'm not in school, I tend to cook.
Unfortunately, that sneeze died in its sleep, which is unsatisfying.
I love how you phrased that.
I mean, that's how it felt. Like, no relief, no fun. I was all ready to sneeze off mic, and then... Yeah. Oh no.
So sorry to hear that.
That's unfortunate.
Frustration.
I mean, yeah, that's totally fair, enjoying the process of loving a dish. I do enjoy a good dish. I don't know. I need to start a new sourdough starter. I, unfortunately, in, like, one particular fit of, like, weeks on depression, let it die. And I'm not looking forward to doing that again, because it was a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
Like, I love cooking sourdough. Sourdough is, like, really tasty, and there's a lot of, like, small specific things you can try to make the best possible loaf. But it does take a fair amount of effort to get a good loaf of bread. Thank you for the heart, Once Eponymous. I appreciate it. Oh, hey! Wait a minute. That's weird. So one thing I set up as part of my new setup is I set up new follower alerts, and apparently I got a follower and it didn't alert. I'm sorry. Whoever did that. Apologies. I appreciate that. It'd be nice to get to 50 followers, then I can make money off this shit.
I'll, like, post your Twitch everywhere in the art building.
I would appreciate that.
Wait, are you comfortable with me sharing it in the GSA group chat?
Here, let's talk about this after stream. How about?
Okay.
Because I would like to be able to focus on this conversation, but I am trying to play the game. Alright, we got some new boys to name, so...
Okay. Here's mine.
Boy Savon.
From Cat.
Alright, Sarah, what's yours? And we're gonna have a fight to the death over which one gets to be.
Meat Cat.
That's a throwback.
Oh yeah, there was also Slippy Jim.
Alright, we can't fit Bustafer Jones from Cat, so I am gonna go with Slippy Jim. Because... because
Well,
really
you
was
keep
just
Christopher
throwing.
Jones.
True, but it's not as funny as Bustopher Jones in parentheses from Cats. Alright, there we go. I think we're good. No one else is really in desperate need. Alright, so Reynald is just like a real mishmash of bad habits and problems, which, like, Earl mood. I feel ya. Alright, who we got in the carriage? Ooh, I'll bring him on. Who should I fire? Actually, I'm not sure I want to fire anyone. Tell you what, I will upgrade the barracks so I can get some new guys. I'll bring this.
Fortune and glory.
Yeah.
In this domain of the damned.
Yeah, damn, dude. This domain of the damned.
Damn.
Indeed. Alright. Alrighty, so... Let me see. I know there's going to be some people who need new shit. I don't think Fairfax, currently, I want to give him much, but Bertman, we gotta get you upgraded a little bit.
Man, I'm so excited to play Alma. She's my first woman character.
And in a hot minute! Wait, total? I thought, I could have sworn you had played some woman.
No, I did not.
I'm trying to branch out a little more from just playing, like, exclusively women and, like, the occasionally gender person.
See, I feel like we have an opposite problem here. We're on the opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, like, I know, like, Eve is probably going to be running a campaign that I'm going to be taking part in sooner or later, and I'm thinking I'm going to bring Valentine, who, for those of you in chat, he is my College of Swords bard, and he is my special little theater boy.
Very good.
He's in a
Yes,
dating
I have
sim
never
game.
created.
Oh yeah,
I've never created a non-femme D&D character.
Yeah, you told me a little bit about her attack. Yeah, I think that'll be fun. I'm interested. I don't know. We've been playing that Out of the Dark campaign for so long. I don't know if I'm not sure we're gonna have any deaths in that. We've been doing so goddamn well.
Don't jinx it! Archie nearly died!
No, I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. Out of the Abyss.
Oh.
Which
Okay,
is
yeah, no, never mind.
where I'm playing Lethirith, where we're just steamrolling literally every possible combat. It's pretty brutal.
Dang.
Alright, I don't think I want to give out any more of these tokens. Maybe, have you got anything fun for me? That'd be kind of nice, but I don't have any leopards at the moment. I kind of want my character not to die, not because I hate, but because I think it's what he wants. Jesus Christ, dude. That's a lot. Like, Lethirith...
What's going on in that campaign?
I don't think any of the characters in that party are, like, emotionally stable.
I think y'all need a good bar.
I mean,
what you need.
Well, we had a bad bar, and we all shared about our lives, and I'm not sure it made anyone feel better. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to go try to heal the Necromancer again.
Wait. You know what y'all need?
What?
Y'all need Pigeon, aka Pinkie Pie's D&D version.
So this
that was revealed to us later.
So Pinkie Pie... Jesus. So Pigeon was a character in my version of Tyranny of Dragons, and she was apparently a version of Pinkie Pie. I was not made aware of this until the game was nearly over.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny to just have that sprung on you.
Yeah, well... it was a time.
She was very high energy all the time, and it was a lot.
She's 2'7", either 2'7" or 2'4". I don't remember. All I know is she was very
I thought she was like 2'9". She's little. She's a halfling, but she's like small for a halfling. She's more gnome-sized.
Like we made an actual pigeon pack. It was a great idea. To sneak her into the
Also can
camp.
never die.
The pigeon pat was essentially just a backpack in which we hid Pigeon. It started as a bit in like the second chapter or something, and it stuck for the whole game. Which like Tyranny of Dragons is long as shit, so it was pretty funny.
Yeah, she can't die. She is extremely terrifying.
Yeah, she was a monk, and once we got to high levels, it really did turn into just a carnival of her beating the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, especially the dragon. My favorite line from her is still from when we fought the black dragon.
Oh yeah,
And
Vortimthar.
She pointed at her earrings, which had scales from the previous dragons we fought, and she was like, "I would like to add you to my earring collection." I was like, "What the heck?"
Which led to a good line from Vortimthar that immediately undermined his. Vortimthar is like, "You may have slain my kin, but I am not my kin." And then, and then it was said something you kin people, and it was just like it completely derailed it. Like just like shoving a monkey bar through the wheels. Brutal, unfair. I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, I like from the sounds of it, Out of the Abyss is like very like dark, very gloomy, and then there's our campaign, which is like the goth house versus the Barbie house.
I mean,
have you seen that meme?
Yeah, Out of the Dark is relatively spooky. I don't know.
No, I meant Out of the Abyss.
Oh. Well, do you mean like Tyranny of Dragons? As compared to
No, I meant I meant the game that Lefirith is from.
Yes, but like as compared to what?
As compared to like our general parties. Our general parties are like chaotic.
Yeah,
but in a like.
Yeah, that's true. We do kind of lead chaotic. I like to think we have some parties with some good depth though. God damn it, more traps.
Say's the one who in our current campaign was like, we're not doing character focused parties.
Listen, I know it was fun. Do you know how much fucking work it was to add an entire story to Tyranny of Dragons?
No, I get that, believe me. You could have also told me no. But you wanted to do your lesbian mafia bosses.
And I liked them very much, and...
Oh, I love them too!
Whatever we do next, we'll probably have more of those. I mean, Out of the Abyss has been one of our more serious campaigns. I mean, Saltmarsh was also pretty brutal, in particular because of like the shit with like Theothu or whatever his name was. There was some eldritch horror stuff going on when we did Saltmarsh.
Fun. Wait, was that the one you had an OC who was like going through like some eldritch
Faba
horror stuff, like Faba, yeah, because you made a comic of her. Was she from that campaign?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
that was I did that comic like back when I was like just starting to like figure out how art works. So looking back at it, it's like, huh, you really did improve, huh?
Do you want to redraw it?
I could. It was a lot of goddamn words. Hello, welcome back. We're talking about like D&D campaigns and shit.
Push on to the task's end.
Faba was definitely going through some shit, and like, it was funny. She was young. Like, usually when I write characters, yeah, Faba and Alden really had good sibling energy. It was cute. It was usually when I write characters, they're kind of in their 20s-ish. 20s. I've done a few a little bit older, but Faba was like 19. and had just left home. She was having a rough day. Rough year.
She was only 19?
Yeah,
and
she-
you did all that to her?
I mean, I wasn't entirely in charge of it, and that's partially was our DM's fault.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think looking...
The fiend
Okay,
falls.
technically Archie is my oldest character at like 30-ish. I forgot how old he is, I need to check.
Yeah, it
But
was funny how that
I
worked
think-
out. Sorry, I interrupted you.
At least promises success.
Oh, no, you're good. You're answering the...
Going to ignore the Shambler's altar as I don't want to die.
I'm also busy, like, drawing,
Yeah, no worries.
Alma.
Yeah, true. The character who Fama had adopted his little brother was only 16, so much younger.
Oh my god, I'm gonna adopt all your characters.
It really was like Dad, Ishmael, and a variety of mangy teenagers he picked up. And we all just... Right? Yeah, a bunch of kids and an old man. That was the vibe. And we all just got into it. We all just were in his house. Made a mess of it. An old man and a bunch of the most emotionally disturbed kids you've ever met.
What? I mean, isn't that what D&D is?
Yeah, it can be.
Well, yeah, it's one of the variations of D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love D&D. It's really just a good game.
It is. I'm so glad you are my official first DM. Well, you're technically my second DM, but
I mean, just ignore the first one. It's fun. Rewrite history. Make your own truth. Alright.
yeah,
I am going to... I think this is probably the best place I'm in. Yeah, family can't just be an old man as 4 teenage children. I think this is my best chance to camp. It also will hopefully help me,
It's a goal without
Alright, I do want to reduce some stress, so... Here.
if your D&D, if you're in D&D squad, cannot be summed up as a family can be post. Is it really a D&D team?
Truly.
Let's see, wait. Oh, Curse of Strahd. A family can be... Oh, that one's too long. I would have to actually list it out when writing first.
Yeah, you'd have to plan
Trying
that.
to...
You have to plan that bit out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishmael really was just kind of like a single dude, a bachelor who was also a fisherman, and then he ended up being a dad to a bunch of kids. Alrighty. Alright, time to take a nap.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Alright, use that. Divine Benefit.
Oh god.
Is Severin allowed at the family
uniform?
family reunion? I don't think so. I mean,
first of all, considering that he's dead.
yes, that's going to be that's going to be a real hurdle to overcome. Also, he didn't have any family. The only people who could reasonably called his family were either dead before the campaign even started, or B, you all murdered in the process of the campaign.
You're not wrong.
For the slightest
You didn't plan for him to become anything. Yeah, I remember you used Willem Dafoe's face from The Lighthouse as your token on Roll20. What a good-ass movie.
A family can be, for Tyranny of Dragons, an
See how long this
orphan.
goes.
No, I'm trying to think. Well, I'm trying to think of how I would describe Meg because I was instantly like an orphaned agnostic priest.
Wait, I didn't think Meg was agnostic. Was I just?
No, she was. Okay.
Wait, was
no,
she? Was I
exactly,
just
that's
not?
why I was like,
No, not specifically.
no, she was not. She was not. My brain is
But it's
just
stuck
trying
to the
to.
A family can be an escape prison gang. Yeah, I'm not sure we're quite at family levels. I feel like we're eventually going to get to levels of I found these other I woke up in the dumpster with these other fuckers, and we started trying to murder each other, but now they're my best friends, and et cetera, you know? Coworkers who don't like each. That's currently where we are now.
The Avengers. So the Avengers from the MCU movies.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it's quite. Well, I don't even know how to describe it. There's a lot of internal tensions between certain characters, and it's like, we've managed to kind of avoid it devolving into out and out trying to murder each other. Which, we never got to that level, but we definitely got some threats going. Like, one of my friends, his character threatened to murder Lefirith because Lefirith was in fact being an asshole to him, as she is wont to do, but still, like, Jesus. And that's kind of been a, yeah. That's kind of what we got. A family can be a gym bro, a self-made widow. Self-made widow. Wife is amazing, and I love her.
Remind yourself that overconfidence.
Self-made widow. Yeah, that's great.
A small bartender.
Ambushed by bowling.
Yeah. She's pretty bulky, at the very least. She's not, like, tall, though. She's a dwarf. You know how dwarves be.
She's like a mini. She's built like a mini fridge.
I'd say that is an accurate statement. Hits like a mini fridge, too. If you were to hit someone with a mini fridge. I don't know what that
Casey,
was.
how would you describe Meg? You don't know.
Die.
Just
Okay.
She did have a lot of just AI energy, it's true.
Back to the pit.
Okay. A hot take. Controversial. Excommunicated. Priest. Priest who is just a guy.
She had some unorthodox ideas about Selûne, as I recall part of her story, that people weren't like a fan of. That's how you get a religious schism. But they didn't get smooched on the forehead by Selûne at the end of their campaign, now did they?
Just them.
Meg just posted a hot take on her private Twitter, and it went crazy from there.
It went a bit too viral. Okay.
A stereotypical orphan tiefling rogue.
Who got adopted by just the nicest lad. Leosin Erwinthar, dad of boy.
Okay. A stereotypical orphan tiefling rogue who has anger issues and height complex.
Yeah, fighting Edward Eller ass.
Jesus Christ, he tried to murder Phobos like so many times.
I don't think he tried to murder Phobos necessarily. It was more like,
Well, stab him! I'm
did.
pretty sure.
Yeah, he did try to stab him, that is true.
Yeah, Julia! Oh shit!
Yeah.
Look! Bro, look.
Alright.
If
Yeah? What's up?
if I'm trying to stab someone, there's a very good chance it will lead to murder.
I mean, depends on how Udi stab him.
Just assume they're good at stabbing.
Yeah.
Triumphant pride.
Well,
Dizzying.
I mean, it very much was like the Edward Elric bit where someone calls him a pipsqueak and he like just has like a small little rant.
Wait, I need to tell that. Give me a moment, I'm texting it. I always forget that freaking, wait. New Mario film trailer coming next month.
I am still not happy that the Chris Pratt is gonna be Mario.
Such a terrible assault.
Nobody is.
Yeah, like, I don't...
You know what? It won't happen if someone assassinates Chris Pratt. Wait, is that allowed? Am I allowed to? I mean, it won't happen, and I'm not suggesting it.
I mean...
Tonight's stream is sponsored by murdering Chris Pratt.
Tonight's stream is... Yeah, I'm also mad he's gonna beat Yarfield.
Why are they
Oh,
hiring
no.
this man? Can we hire, like, Jack Black, please?
Nope. It's...
But I mean, yeah, it is hard to imagine anyone who could do a better Garfield than Jack Black.
Yeah, I have been watching a fair amount of Quentin reviews, and his...
God, yes.
Very fun, but his like whole series on Garfield really has made me appreciate Garfield more.
I really like the theory that the reason Garfield hates Mondays is because Jim goes back to work and he loves his human.
Aww.
I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
I think about that when Thomasina screams at me with absolute fury when I come home from work. And maybe it's because she missed me and not because she's mad that I'm invading her space.
With Thomasina, she has never expressed her feelings healthily, not even once.
Not one time.
Not a single time has her feelings been expressed in a way that would be considered appropriate.
I was talking to my mom and she was talking about an old cat of ours who really loved her and was really mean to everybody else. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's like my cat. And she's like, well, your cat's mean to you sometimes too.
Yeah, that is true.
Wow. What I hate about that is that it's correct.
Yeah, like, my relationship with Thomasina is that I think she likes me, but she's just very incapable of expressing that.
She doesn't scream and run away every time you enter the room. She likes you.
We did it, gamers. Alright, we are about to fight the first boss, so I'm gonna buff the torch up to Radiant, and let's go. And that's him!
Fierce, terrible.
The Necromancer Apprentice. Ah! Jesus.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a silly little lad. Yaspit steals my breath.
He's like a cross between the Horned King and a PhD student, and I love that. Am I wrong?
You're not, which is really funny. I just wasn't expecting it. Alright, Emboldening Vapors. We're going to... Ding dong.
He's even wearing... His maroon robe does remind me of the Horned King's robe, although the Horned King's robe is more of a violet.
Alright, poison him. Let's get some of that good old dot. Alright, we need to keep our heals up. A family can be a hot take community who's just a stereotypical orphan tiefling rogue who has anger issues and a height complex. Pinkie Pie's D&D Montessona, an idiot beanpole goth who is the constitution of an orphan Victorian boy, their adopted dad who worked for a secret organization dedicated to taking down tyrannical elements, and their baby dragon daughter named Bean who they murdered around the whole in self-defense. Yeah,
Sounds great.
pretty much. A lot of words in there. But it's all the correct. That's really how the vibe it was, which I did appreciate.
I was so glad for it. It was very fun. It was a very fun campaign.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, Eve, so fun fact for those of you who are in my D&D party, Eve is the one who I talked to about the D&D party, and like my plans and shit. Like I very much use even I like discuss story beats and shit because I find it helpful to like like talk those things through with someone who knows story, and Eve's very very into that kind of stuff.
I better be. It's the only thing I do.
But yeah, so it's fun. It's pretty wild how big a part of my life D&D is at this point. It's God damn it, Dismas, you fucked it. You fucked that one up. Alright, everyone's doing relatively stable at the moment. Our main issue is... Alright, did he... Good. 8 damage per round, that for 3 rounds. So that's a pretty good amount. I'm thinking it's about 9:53. What's probably going to happen is I'm going to finish this boss and we'll call it for the night. How does that sound to everyone?
Yep.
Like,
that seems reasonable.
I think it's a reasonable time to stop. It's probably going to be the best, the best point to break off,
And it would be good to defeat this boss while I'm here, because I know a lot about how to defeat a PhD student.
Yeah. Yes, it would be very helpful for you to. The first boss really isn't that big a deal. He can't do extremely. What if you say no? I mean, I'm gonna do it. How could you?
Facing the abyss.
God, me
Alright.
too.
Yeah, it's a fighting mood. Alright, there we go. Here, we are going to heal up Reno, and heal up Dismas, so we're all off Death's Door. Yeah, this is probably one of the least stressful of the bosses, so enjoy this relatively chill vibe while we still got it. So here's a question for y'all. One of the things that's... I know a lot of people will do things where they have, like, a sort of... like, they do series, like, over the course of a lot of weeks, they will do different things. Would you be more interested in seeing more of Darkest Dungeon? Regularly, do you want to see, like, me do a variety of games? I'm curious to see what you'd be interested in. I didn't exactly explain that well, but I hope you get what I mean. Alright.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Bit of both?
Yeah, I would say a bit of both. Because you already have Stardew Valley as, like, a series.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, TBH, I like Stardew Valley. I'm not sure it's the best option for a series. There we go. It's a little more... I'm not sure it's quite the vibe I want to do, There we go. Beat the boss.
Yeah, you
Your
are...
vibe, like, maybe more goth than that.
Yeah, I think kind of what I'd like to do is... I think this could be really fun to keep going. And also, I know I'm sort of working with a limited palette because I only do this, like, 2 days a week, but also I like having a life.
That's probably a good idea.
So...
Oh, you know what you could replace Stardew Valley with? You know the Chocolatier game that's coming out, right?
Haunted Chocolatier. I don't think... What, is that coming out anytime soon?
Give me a... Maybe not now, but let me look.
I think it's...
I've been hearing it. Chocolatier. Haunted. Here. Beep beep. Waiting for Google.
Yeah, take your time.
Beep beep beep.
Groucho
beep,
Marx
beep.
is somewhere, has gone on an adventure. Let that when that happens. Alright. Well, tell you what, Renee, we'll itch you to praying.
There is nothing. I don't think there's anything about its release, so I think
I
it's...
think it'll come at some point, but I don't think that's going to be something like the near future that's useful.
Right. Yeah. Never mind. I thought, because like when the trailer came out, I thought it was coming out a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what. Maybe what I'll do is I will keep this as the Thursday series, Darkest Dungeon, and then maybe we do like a rotating Wednesday thing. So.
Sure.
You could even say rotating Wednesdays.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. I too am looking forward to the solo. Maybe we could definitely do that. I would definitely love to start doing that at some point. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
I officially apologize on this stream for uwuifying.
I do appreciate the apology. You are dead to me now.
Wait, but I'm already dead according to you.
Yes, you are, but now you're double dead.
Am I double dead?
Brutal.
Get back in your coffin. They planned the Mario movie to come out earlier. You know what? I'm fine with that coming out in not the near future, honestly.
Oh yeah, they delayed it because Nintendo made their own, studio for movies.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Lord. Why?
Because it's a, excuse my phrasing, a dick measuring contest between megalo corporations of only like 3 people.
Your phrasing is not only excused but accepted.
Yeah. Alright, well, it's been a lot of fun tonight, and I really appreciate everyone stopping by. We'll have to do this again. Well, I suppose we have a schedule doing this again next week, so...
Yeah, sure do.
Convenient. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop the stream, so yeah. See y'all later. Have a nice evening.
Good night.